derivative deal.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone. Hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch in Infinite Combinations, number 181. We're exploring all of the Twilight Zone. We're at season 3. We're looking at the episodes The Trade-ins and The Gift. And we're going to start off with the trade-ins. But first, I want to thank Lawrence from the Wayfarer Project for joining me to talk about him.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's
and
a
good
pleasure
morning
to be here as always.
Oh, yes. Good morning to Gavin, FKHC 2005. Kimberly David there. And and there you are. Yep. Oh, and there's your website, your YouTube.
Oh, your bot is very dutiful.
Yes, she is. She's taking notes.
I just want to give a little forewarning here. Everything seems to be fine, except for the fact that my screen went blank. I still see a mouse cursor and a bit of glow to know that the screen is on, but I don't see anything. And it happened right about the time we heard the Twilight Zone theme.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Well, it's totally on my end, but fortunately, you hear me, and I guess we're streaming, so we're fine. If I'm able to solve it, great. If not, I'll still be here. If I drop out, this is why, and I'll just come back in as soon as I'm able to again, because I only just realized, hey, this should normally be fine, but I won't be able to see what slide we're on.
Exactly. And it'll be easier for you to follow along with the story if you know what slide we're on and what I'm talking about. Because there aren't too many slides.
Well, I saw them,
these.
but still, I don't have the slides memorized.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Gavin?
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, definitely try to figure that out. I'll be here and I'll talk to Gavin. Gavin, hello Gavin. He's saying hi to you as you are figuring out what's
Gavin's
going on
great.
with that. Yeah, Gavin's great. Well, we're closing into almost the end of season 3 if I need to talk about something else while you figure that out. And I was gonna, when we do get to the end of season,
it's back.
Can you see it? Hooray!
Yes, I was able to do some magic Linux keyboard shortcut stuff. All right, I'm back. Here we go.
Hey, James Caserta's here. Oh, hi. Oh, great, Jill. Yeah, great, James. Glad to see you, James. Okay, good. Now I don't have to try to come up with something to talk about. We can talk about the episodes as we intended. Starting with the trade-ins at the New Life Corporation.
Oh, what a powerful one. Oh, I'm sorry. I broke your intro. Go ahead.
That's okay. It is powerful. I agree with you. The trade-ins first aired on April 20th, 1962. It was written by Rod Serling and directed by Elliot Silverstein or Steen. Probably Stein. So yes, it is very powerful, and it's got an elderly couple called Mr. and Mrs. Holt. They're here, John and Marie. They're here at the New Life Corporation, and it already starts off with something a little nice. I love when they do shadow stuff, and this is a nice little shadow silhouette of John kissing
I'm
Marie's
seeing
hand.
the New Life Corp.
Yes. But do you see the silhouette?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. No, I was
Then you're
expecting at this
following
point I
along.
would see yeah, the characters, but don't
Oh, the
worry, don't worry. I'm
actuals.
sorry.
No, I was just admiring shadows. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay. I was like, we're still on I only say this because in the past there have been times where you were on a slide and you didn't realize you were still there. So just trying to
Gotcha.
be helpful, but I am
I do
just
appreciate
getting
that.
in the way at this point.
No, you're not. They're greeted by a salesman. Salesman, he's got a name, Vance. And we find that Mr. Holt is 79 and Mrs. Holt is 74. But Mr. Holt is suffering some major but undefined illnesses. And Mrs. Holt confirms he's in constant pain. He just says there's some, but it's constant. But really, in reality, though, the John Holt, played by John Skilderkraut, was 66 years old, and Alma Platt, who played Marie, was older at 71 years old. So they were actually reversed, although they
Well,
look the
I
way they
think they really sold 80 there for both.
did.
I think there might have been some extra makeup work, and then their mannerisms. They really sold their 80s.
Yes, and John Holt, his actor, definitely sells being in pain,
Oh
being
yeah.
sick. And that adds to the age also.
Mm-hmm.
And Alma
But
Platt, I guess she's been
yeah.
in Night Gallery. But Joseph, oh, Joseph, not John. Well, why do I have John up there?
Well,
Is it
isn't it the
Joseph or
character
John?
name?
No, well, John is the character name. Joseph Skilderkraut, I guess that's the
Yeah.
actor name.
Yeah. That would be why.
Hmm. And so why do I try to learn a little bit about the actors here, but since I wasn't around in the 60s, I don't know a lot of this stuff. Well, and then I wasn't around in the 20s either. He was a silent film actor, obviously, because look how
Wow.
old he is. So it goes even further back. So even the people who know the 60s stuff probably don't know the Song of Love from 1923. What?
No, I came in after the 60s. So
Yeah, me too. Well,
before you, but after the 60s. But in
the
any
King of
case,
Kings.
it still works for, it's a couple that it definitely feels like in their 80s. You definitely feel for them. You definitely understand why they're open to the offer being made, but you know, it- and I'll point it out when we get to it, but there's a moment when you realize, oh, this may not go well, other than being
Yeah,
the Twilight
you're
Zone.
well, that's what's great about the Twilight Zone. Your imagination goes wild and you think of
Yeah.
all the terrible things that could happen if they really go through with this.
Hmm.
Oh, he was in The Three Musketeers, 1939. Gosh, lots of old stuff. Let's see. Oh, and we've got Oiler Greg today. Hello to Oiler Greg and Matt G. Hey. Gavin Blackburn says, I traded my ex in. Didn't get anything for her.
Oh, it's not that. It's not that kind of trade in there. Oh wow.
They're astonished to discover that there's a way that this company can stop John Holt's pain.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to transfer their consciousnesses into younger bodies, which are in what the salesman describes as perfect physical condition,
Oh yeah.
composition.
The salesman does the hook very well. He's like he makes them feel bad about being there and why they're there, and then in an instant makes them feel good. Well, we here, this is
You've got
what
a
we
problem. We're
do.
going to solve it.
We're gonna fix it. Yeah.
And they've had a fulfilling 50 years of marriage, but they want more. And so they're going to transfer, I suppose, transfer their consciousness and
Yeah,
psychology into newer, healthier bodies.
it's one of the episodes where the explanation is left out, or even not just the explanation. It's really leaving out any idea of how.
Yes, the science fiction of that
Yes.
is not explained. That's okay. It's a 20-minute episode. It's okay to exclude some things sometimes.
Well,
We're
it's
just
about
accepting that in the
the
future they can
thought.
do some sort of thing.
It's about the thought. It's a
Mhm.
mental challenge, I guess, as far as maybe some perceptions of right and wrong. But really, it's more of something where you go along with the ride, see where it takes you. And it does take you to some striking moments. It wasn't an easy watch for me because seeing them to begin with and kind of like their fragility physically, I was like, oh, it's hard, you know. And I guess also harder because I've been feeling my own age coming on. I'm not near that point yet, but still, you know, it
It reminds you
strikes
of
some
your
messages.
mortality.
It's
Yeah.
it's almost like unless you go sooner, this is the result. So the options aren't great. But now that I may have brought down the rest of the chat, uh, you know that so it is tough. But the thing is, it has a great Serling delivers a great ending to it and great message. And there's a moment of acting in here, face acting, that really drives it home. So
I
I'll
agree.
suspend that for a little bit and just talk about it as they come.
Right. So they've been married for 50 years, and so they want more. And the salesman says, he explains how it's going to work. And they have a look. They look at the floor models of all of the different human receptacles that they have produced. These are constructed somehow, and they make it
Yeah.
sound like they build them, so they're not harvesting humans or anything sinister like that. They're just empty shells, as
No,
a Klingon would call them.
but I was thinking about how they did them because I was thinking, yeah, they're made to kind of look mannequin like, but later when we see the result, I mean, the mannequin's very close to what we get as a result. And so I was thinking maybe they use real people here. I don't know. And
Yes.
then I guess they did. Yeah. All right. But the thing is, when the one workman lifts one off when he goes ahead with it, spoilers, the one
Yes.
workman lifts one off, and they did that very well because it felt like, whoa, almost, making you think that wasn't real, was it?
Yeah, yeah, he does a very good job of looking as still as possible, but still squishy enough to be
Well,
the what he's supposed to be.
and I guess the camera work they did when the workman actually lifts one off like a mannequin,
Yes.
when the choice is made and he picks it off the showroom floor, so to speak, it's like that really looked like a mannequin then. So it was just good camera work, sleight of hand, I guess, that made me like, whoa, you know.
The illusion is effective.
Yep.
And the salesman explains how the whole procedure works, how they'll go to sleep and he'll not feel any more pain. And that's what's most attractive to John.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the opening narration, which I will read. I like to read those. Opening narration is Mr. and Mrs. John Holt, aging people who slowly and with the trembling fingers turn the last pages of a book of life and hope against logic and the preordained that some magic printing press will add to this book another limited edition. But these two senior citizens happen to live in a time of the future when nothing is impossible, even the trading of old bodies for new. Mr. and Mrs. John Holt, in their twilight years, who are about to find that there happens to be a zone with the same name. So he did say the Twilight Zone, but he said them out of order. The words. And this is set in the near future, I suppose, where he thinks, maybe this could happen. Just a hypothetical. What if this could happen? And they're examining the models, but the salesman needs to step away so the couple browses on their own. And to your point, are these real people? Yes, they are. So they had a casting call for 20 men and 20 women to play the figures on display, wearing
I'm
bathing
still
suits.
seeing Rod.
You are still seeing Rod.
Sorry, I was just saying that once again, just in case you thought, the audience.
Well, you
was
don't have to
seeing a
explain
different
it.
screen. Okay,
No,
I'm
you're doing
sorry.
good. You're doing good. When you do that, it's great.
Okay, good.
Oh, did I say who directed it? Elliot Silverstein. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are real people who
Although
were.
I'm not seeing mannequins yet. I'm seeing the couple and the salesman with the title. The Trade-Ins, directed by Elliot Silverstein. There we go. Now we see some mannequins. Sorry to say, Jill, I don't hear you.
Yes.
I imagine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they look at, there's 5 of each of them, and they look at all of them, but they still like the first ones that they saw. And Mr. Holt says, it doesn't seem real to be young again, to live without pain. Have it all. And you really, yeah.
Well, it's at this moment that you're wondering, well, if you become that, you like as it was said, your data banks, and he said the word data bank, gets put into these younger bodies. You're still going to
Yes.
look at each other as a couple and be like,
This is
"Whoa."
weird. We're different now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, I thought about that too, and that's absolutely right. They'd have to get used to their new selves, and but if
Yeah,
they're
right at
they're
this moment.
both, even if they were able to go together, they have chosen the couple that they wanted. And he says, "Can you stand me for another century?" And so they're basically just setting up just how much these two love each other, and it is immense.
Yes. And, it's just also one of those things where science fiction viewers, such as ourselves and the chat, are going to be, watching this with different eyes because we're thinking about, all right, what if this happened to me? We're going to look at it
Mhm.
all. We're going to say, salesman, can we see your process? Can we see what you're using to do this?
Yeah, that's what I would really want to know. I think I would go in here knowing the price before I went in, but Mr. Holt doesn't figure out the price until he's actually there.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe they keep it a secret.
There's a price in addition to the price tag.
That's true too. That's a good point. And they know they want to have the operation the next morning, but they find out they only have half the amount for both of them. So it costs 5K per person, but they only have that much with them. Oh, hello to Brogu. Hi. Hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday. I sure am. Euler Greg says, I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday too, Brogu. And Euler Greg says, I want Westworld 73 robot bodies. Ooh, robot bodies. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, those might last long. I think these are organic because they say these will last 100 years or so. But they're not allowed to go into debt. So the 5K, so they can only.
Yeah, they don't do credit because of government regulations.
Mhm.
It was
Yes,
funny because
I.
it's like there might be some other questions from government too.
Yeah, so that's to make it so that only one of them can be
Oh yeah, but they
get a new
refuse at
body.
first. They
They do.
refuse.
They absolutely do. It would have to be both of us or neither of us. We can't be separated.
And she suggests it should be you first, John, because of your pain. And then the idea is he would be able to work a little bit, earn some more money with a younger body and everything, and then be able to afford hers. And
Yes,
so,
that
but
makes sense to me. That's like
but he's like,
logical.
no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't leave you alone. I mean, yeah, logical, but at the same time, other than another thing I was thinking about, okay, one of you does it and the other one doesn't. It's like, man, young person's going to look at 80-year-old person and be like, but it would be still the same person inside, really. So
True.
if you still love each other at that point, you'd probably still love the person seeing them even through younger eyes. It's not like your body changes your love for the person, but the body would, of course, change what you're able to do with your life. And so, it's still going to be one of those things where, as a couple that's used to living life together,
Yeah, it would
it'll
feel like
be
one of them
odd.
would be left behind. Whoever didn't get
Yep.
the procedure would
Yeah.
be just set in the corner
And
while
then
the other
I
one is
think back
living.
in that time, 62, earning $5,000 was not as, I'm not saying it's easy today, but it's, it
Oh,
was,
yeah, this would be
the
about
dollar was worth
50,000, I
more.
think.
Yeah.
50,000 would probably be the equivalent money today.
Yeah,
I've
probably.
done these conversion calculations so many times, I think I know it. But
Yeah.
let me see.
Times 10.
Inflation calculator. Yeah, typically, yeah, that's what I do is times 10, and it typically works. So
Yeah.
that's 1962
Only
to
Istophobos would know the real number because he's
yeah,
fact
I'm about
man.
right. 54,000. I was close. Hooray.
Cool.
Get the procedure and split on her. Gavin, that's what I was afraid of this whole episode. I thought, oh no. But Phantom Outsider said, or he could get her the upgrade and continue to work because he'd have a young wife and to come back to.
Well, yeah, until she leaves you on your own.
Right. Yeah, you're in danger both ways there. So, but she does they have to give up on this day and Marie
Well,
gives
I
him a
think, I'm
recite some
sorry.
poetry.
I was just still thinking about that thought. If they had reversed it and this episode went the same way, except um, we see her come out in her new body, then we might not have had the same type of ending. He might have been like, oh, all right, here we go.
It might have been encouraged. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
No, it wouldn't have been that way
And then
because
she
they
got
were
it,
writing it
and
for a
then she went to
reason.
Hollywood, and yeah, okay.
Yeah, they wrote it for a reason. I'm just saying, I'm just saying,
Right, right.
picturing
There,
me as old man there saying, all right, this is still my wife, just now she's really younger.
we could make this episode way more vain and less wholesome and
Yes,
heartfelt than it really
yes,
is.
yes, especially if we
We
keep
could,
listening to Gavin.
yes, especially if we keep listening to Gab. The episode is so perfect. The only thing we could do is not make it as good. Marie Holt says from Rabbi Ben Ezra by Browning. Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be, the last of life, for which the first is made.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
$5,000 was the price of gold bar. My goodness.
striking words from that poem there. And so you know that, Rod Serling did keep up on his literature and everything. So
He did. He's a reader. And it's good. So John Holt, although he is comforted by his wife, he's not ready to give up. He still really wants this. And so he risks the $5,000 they've earned to try to see if he can earn the other $5K so they both can have the young bodies.
yeah, the scene transition threw me off here.
Mhm.
With the piano and then the guy hanging out there. It's like, um, what is this until we see him come in and then, it makes some sort of sense and it's tragic. It's sad. And you know that, man, this is a setup from the start. Some guy playing piano and the guy's just waiting there. The dealer's just waiting there for some stooge to come in, some gullible
Exactly.
person that they're going to take
Exactly.
for a ride.
Mr. Faraday is a gambling shark, a card shark. And he's played by Theodore Mercus, who was also in the Halloween-themed Star Trek episode called Cat Spa. His character in that Star Trek episode was Korob. And so those are the little aliens that were very small and funny looking, but they took human form to try to learn about humanity and test us and everything. And
Well,
just, be really annoying to the crew.
I don't remember seeing an episode that was at a cat spa planet.
Well, one of them, the Sylvia, the girl alien, she turns into a giant cat. So if you don't remember that, then
Oh,
you know.
no, okay.
Or do you remember the part where the Enterprise is like a necklace? Like it comes in a necklace?
Yeah, I remember now.
So
But
that's
the thing is, I was just doing the play on words, cat spa.
oh that. Sorry.
It was an easy setup, but no, I mean, it's
I
still
I
good to
totally missed it.
go down through memory lane there.
Well, I always enjoyed that actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the cat spa, that would probably be yeah. Sorry, I missed that one.
No problem.
And anyway, it's not the best episode, but it's the Halloween episode.
I
And
don't
he
know how you
also
get a facial on a cat, but
well, he throughout his career he played a lot of villains, but in real life he was a hero serving in the Navy during World War II. Awarded the Silver Star, Bronze Star Medal, and the Presidential Unit Citation. And he was in also lots of TV shows, The Beverly Hillbillies, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, The Wild Wild West, Have Gun Will Travel, and of course Bonanza. Every 60s actor, I think, from this time was in Bonanza. Hogan's Heroes, Batman, also. Oh, he was also in
wow.
Batman.
But
The
still,
time
some of those
travel.
names, it means he was a working actor that was able to pay his bills.
Yes. Oh yeah, he was also in the episode To Serve Man, it says here. Oh. And Man from Uncle. I know these are all the 60s shows I actually have heard of. That's pretty good. Not all of them though. There's some I'm not listening to everything. Unfortunately, he died early at 47 in a traffic accident. Ugh,
Oh no.
awful. But let's see what's going on here. The old guy goes, "What? I worked my whole life to get a hotter. Worked my whole life to get a hotter, younger wife. It was the same person I've already been married to for 40 years. Yeah. There's nothing No surprises personality wise, at least. And let's see. No, let me see what is going on here. A pension? So are we supposed to believe they have no assets that they can get a 5K loan on? Yeah, I guess they just don't. Or maybe they already sold their house to get the 5K. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no
immediately
idea
come
what
all
house
the
prices are.
alternatives to gambling, especially gambling in a setup.
Yeah, that's a good point, Phantom Outsider. There might have been, yeah, there might have been a different way to do this, but this is I guess we're to believe that this is all the money they have to their name.
Remember, they don't have a lot of time, so
That's true too.
you can't just earn it on interest unless it's 100% interest.
So they're playing 5 card draw, jacks or better, meaning you have to have 2 jacks or better to win, more 2 or more queens, 2 or more kings, or 2 or more aces. And during the game, John is not capable of hiding his physical pain from whatever illness he
Yeah,
has.
and it's a great moment when he reaches to put money on the table to kind of like, play the game, but this is where he's forking over money, and oh man, he's going to lose. This is obviously a setup. And as soon as he reaches out, that's where he goes, "Ooh," and it's like, oh, chest pains, man, no.
Yes, this is real pain because we saw earlier that he will try to hide it. When asked if he's feeling pain, he just says some when it is a great deal. So let's see. I got something from the Mark Scott Zicree book called The Twilight Zone Companion. So he says it's a story about love and courage, and Joseph Skildekraut does it up fine. But unbeknownst to all but those on the set, the same qualities were strongly at play within Skildekraut during the filming of the episode. Director Elliot Silverstein recalls he was undergoing a tragedy at the time. His own wife was dying. As a matter of fact, in the middle of the 3-day schedule, his wife did in fact die.
Oh.
And he insisted that we not stop production for him. The Skildekraut family was a great theatrical family in Europe. He would finish the film and then mourn. He was in real tears off screen.
Oh. Yeah, I was feeling when I heard him speak and his somewhat accent, it was kind of subtle, but I was like, his last name's probably not Holt. But
Right.
wow, but that backstory is pretty powerful. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he was undergoing real pain directly related to this episode. In fact, I was afraid of that the entire episode also, just like one of them was going to die. It's all these things you think about that in a story that's strong like this.
Yeah, but he was in his 60s that you listed there. But yeah, this was
Right.
back in the 60s, but still, um, he obviously did some acting. They may have done some makeup work because it was definitely more like 80s as far as appearance, and
Yes.
especially with her,
Mm.
the wife as well.
He's definitely a really great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Faraday,
Faraday here was pretty good too.
yeah, he's great. He's feeling something for John and asks how long he's been sick, and he wants to know what it is that he needs money for. So John tells him about wanting new bodies and how much it costs, but he messed it up and he can't really play cards very well, and he's just useless, and he realizes he's about to lose all his money. But he's going for it anyway. He's thinking maybe I have a chance. I have 3 kings here, which is very, very good in this kind of game. But Faraday has 3 aces.
Well, it's a setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a setup. They're there waiting for him playing piano.
Yeah.
They weren't
Well,
a game that was already going on or anything.
yeah, that's true. That's true. So it was a setup where he was going to trounce him. And he even says, I'm going to clean you out even before he looks at his card. So
Mm-hmm.
you're right. It was a setup. But he has a change of heart and he folds in order to let John keep his money and go home. So it's not very often you see a card shark like that with the heart who's trying to swindle people to actually say, never mind, I don't want to swindle you. That's gonna hurt too much later. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Worst poker face ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's not. He's like, oh no, the game's over. I'm not doing this. This is too much even for me.
Yeah. Well, the way it ends up is he leaves him leave with the 5,000 he came in with.
Phantom Outsider remembers him from Batman. He was the guy that loved silent films and wanted to buy the footage the Riddler was making while fighting Batman. Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
Well, he loved silent films, and the actor he's working opposite of right now was in silent films. Very neat. Outlaw Bill. Hello, Outlaw Bill. James Caserta was set up. Yeah. It was totally, definitely set up. Outlaw Bill is here. Hello, Outlaw Bill. And TZ61. That's not Auto Premature, is it? No, it's not, that's not.
Otto Preminger, maybe.
Nope.
No, it isn't anyway.
He's Theodore McCoos from Star Trek, Catspaw, and lots of other things. Batman.
Yes.
I listed all the things already. So yeah, Mr. Faraday, let's John break even. And it pains John to think that since he is the more sick of the two, he's the one who should get the younger body. But the idea still seems to torture him. And this is what makes the Twilight Zone really good. You wonder. I like that they had a card shark that actually had feelings and could have compassion. He wasn't just a villain. And
Yeah.
so that's that scene.
I mean, the great moment is when he looks at his own hand and sees that he does have the winning hand, but chooses to say that he doesn't because the guy asked, "Can you beat this?" And the guy's like, "No, I can't." But it's because he folded, knowing that he just didn't want to take the guy's money, and he tells him, "You come out with the 5,000 you came in with," and
Mhm.
so. And then on the way out, of course, John Holt's just saying, "Oh, she'll forgive me. She'll understand," because he knows that she probably would not have supported, him
The
going out
gambling.
and gambling for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom Outsider says Otto was a director, and the cooler Mr. Freeze in Batman 66. Oh, more Batman stuff. Cool. And good morning to College Slammer. Yes, it was a pickup game. That is also true.
Um, yeah, they were going to pick up the money in his wallet and take it. I mean, seriously, if you're going to go
Yes.
gambling and you're going into some private or even semi-public establishment where it's behind a closed door and you hear them playing piano first, and then you come in and it's the piano player that's going over the table, "Oh, there's a game right now." It's like, okay, you were waiting for me.
I'll join you in this game. This totally upstanding, totally possibly in your favorite game. So they go back to the company, and Marie wants John to get the younger body to relieve his pain, and
Mm,
he still doesn't want to agree with it, so she just repeats, "Yes, yes, yes," to just get him
hmm
to go.
Yep.
And she wants him to not feel pain anymore, and there's this moment where they both make sign language at each other. Really sweet.
Yes. And she chants him out the door. And that's where, at this point in the film, I'm thinking, okay, why was there that second section, the middle section with the card game? Because he's basically ended up right where he left off. It didn't advance, the protagonist toward their goal anymore. Kept him right where he's at. It just, I guess it explored the feeling a bit more that he's in pain, and we see that happen. He's feeling weak. We see that happen. He's feeling desperate, and I guess it gives him more of a motivation here to finally agree to it, because before he didn't want to. But having
Yeah,
his wife's support after being beat down like that, but still having the money left, yeah, I guess it does show a reason for him to continue ahead with it.
it didn't
So
advance the plot, it advanced the character
yeah,
because
gave him
he
the
was
motivation
definitely
to do it.
reticent. Yeah, he was reticent. He didn't want to do this. He said either both of us or neither of us. And so at this point he's breaking and he's realizing his wife wants this, and so we're going to give it a try. And so she's waiting around for him to come back from surgery. And the first thing we see though is his original body having been emptied of his whatever it is that
Yeah,
makes up him. However
yeah,
that is
that
done.
was a bit of a moment. Here, just so you know, we're gonna.
He's
I mean, that's the thing
We're
we
gonna keep
missed.
him on ice for you. We're gonna Oh
There
yeah, that's
is,
true.
yeah, we did miss that part of the deal that it's like, okay, and for 1 week, if you decide you want your old body back, and he actually said, we'll exhume it for you. And it's like, what? You're going to bury it and then dig it up again? What? But no,
Yeah.
basically, they'll give you your old body back if you regret it, as long as you do it within 1 week. And I guess they give you your money back too, or at least most of it. I don't
I
remember.
suppose so. What I think would happen is they have to keep it on life support, like a like a vegetable.
Well,
And
didn't look like it there, but
no, no, it
it was a
didn't. It doesn't.
striking moment because she's like, oh, anyone seeing their their spouse's body just laying on a gurney like that, you know,
Mhm.
unalive, does not feel good.
Oh, there's one more thing I've got to
And
show before we do this. Before we do this, there's
okay,
something else that
but
I
please
missed.
come back to her face when you
Okay, I will.
get
But
there.
first, very briefly, we see the surgeon who has no other name. He's just a surgeon, but he's played by David Armstrong, and he's in 5 Twilight Zone episodes, including To Serve Man, among other ones. But I've got to mention him because he's a major background Star Trek actor. Starting
Okay.
in the original series, he's an Aminiar guard in Taste of Armageddon, and I don't know if he was the guard that had a multi-legged creature on his shoulder or not. But he's also Cartan in Operation Annihilate. So he was the guy with the giant wrench who tried to attack the crew, and Spock had to use his neck pinch on him. In the episode with the flying pancakes.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
remember that one. So David Armstrong also played an uncredited Enterprise crew member in the motion picture and a Vulcan priest in Star Trek 3.
Oh, uncredited.
Yeah, uncredited in the motion
Well, I
picture.
guess that means he's kind of like just an extra.
Yeah, he is an extra. He's an extra
Yeah.
extraordinaire, and I like to point out some background actors sometimes, especially if you've been in 3 Star Treks. I was like, "Oh, if he's just been in 1, I'm not gonna bother." But there's 3 of them.
Yeah,
God,
I was thinking like, man, didn't he earn it after doing 3? He gets it in the motion picture? No.
yeah, he was also a Vulcan priest in Star Trek 3, so I suppose that's at the end of the movie when we're reuniting Spock with his
Uh-huh.
Katra.
Oh yeah.
or vice versa, whichever way you want to think of it. And finally, he plays oh wait, there was a fourth one. He plays a Hotel Royale staffer in the
Oh.
mediocre Star Trek: The Next Generation episode called The Royale. Very cool.
Yes, she reminded me of that one on another episode.
Yeah, why does it keep coming up?
I don't know, because I forgot the name of the episode, but when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, of course, that one.
Mm. Yeah, and then he's been on Cheers, The Love Boat, Night Court, Charlie's Angels, Starsky and Hutch. Lots and lots more that I'm not going to read.
But I guess he wasn't one of the guest stars on Love Boat. He was probably just a crew member.
Yes. Yeah, he serves somebody something to drink. I don't know. I'm guessing.
They're not going to have an extra on some week. Love Boat was for featuring current celebrities.
Yes. And hello to Lemon Pie. And there's a lot of Soylent Green references in the chat that are making me laugh.
Oh no!
I need to review that movie.
Well,
sometime.
you mentioned to serve mankind while he's standing like that.
Yeah. So anyway, she sees her husband as she knew him, now emptied like that. It's tough for her to see that. Look at that. He said deposit there.
Her face was spectacular throughout this sequence. Without any lines, she's the one that really delivers the impact because it's her impression of what's happening that delivers the message. And not only to the audience, but also to the other actor. Because when, the guy playing the new John Holt comes out, seeing her face is what drives it home to him. Because it's still the same person on the inside. And can you bear seeing the face of the person you love, was married to for 50 years, in anguish,
Exactly. Yeah. But before he realizes that anguish, he's really joyous. He enjoys not being in pain and being young again, obviously. He's excited about the life they're going to lead now. Now we can live. We can do everything we've been too tired to do. Wait a minute. You didn't think about the fact that she'll be tired.
But they did it to the extremes because all of a sudden now they have like some, muscular stud muffin come out.
Oh, yeah.
When you
Yeah.
see them stand opposite each other, you just see whoa.
And this is one person that they chose out of 20. So yeah, they really had their pick of the litter.
Well, their call probably was for people like that. They really wanted to, I'm sure, portray the differences.
Correct. It's exactly right. And he says every day is going to be a wedding, every afternoon a reception, and every evening a honeymoon, and every 7th day an anniversary.
Every evening a honeymoon.
He's just so excited and tumbling around.
Oh yeah. No, but the choreography is good because that also, brings up the whole contrast, with him leaping about and everything like he's doing.
Yes, and John Holt, he's played by Edson Stroll. This is the second time he plays a young, attractive man, as he did before in The Eye of the Beholder. However, in that episode, what we saw as beautiful, of course, the aliens there thought the opposite. They were supposed to be the ugly ones, actually. But then the mood changes.
Yeah.
She was following along for a little while, but she crumples and is horrified. And just watching the episode, you can feel it a lot better.
Yeah, especially when she has her hands over her mouth and you just see the eyes. The
Yes.
eyes. I mean, that's what was amazing about because she's even covering half of her face, and it's the eyes that sell it.
I have it here. I have every emotion she goes through.
Excruciating moment, yes. There we go. Look at that.
And of course, John recognizes this pain. He finally got rid of his pain, but then he realizes he's inflicting some on her now.
Yeah, and I mean, folks, you had to be able to act, and that sometimes meant even without words. It's not delivering lines, man.
Yeah. Yeah, she's hurting and he can see it.
Hmm.
He's known her for a long time, so he knows. And this is broken up suddenly by the others telling him he needs to sign some papers.
We need to give you the finish and then talk to you about the warranty plan.
Mhm.
I'm just making that
Oh,
up, but it
right,
was
right,
really
right,
like
right.
that. It was sales jargon, kind of like, okay, we're going to finalize the process. And so you see him leave right after that. But we do see his face that the message was conveyed.
Mhm.
There we go.
Yeah, all the joy that he had a few moments ago, it's all he realizes something's wrong. And he's
Yeah,
taken back to sign
I
papers.
mean, you could see that coming in some ways, but because you're like, man, you're in a new body and stuff, and you don't see your spouse in a younger body. You see the personality of your spouse hidden away in some other person's body. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And there was like a separation that happened between them when just in
Hmm.
those few moments that she realizes this isn't gonna work. And so yeah, it does hit you really hard. And man,
Yeah.
when the Twilight Zone makes me feel feelings sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Instead of just relying on any kind of science fiction, like any little bits of explanations or anything like that, it's more of I wouldn't say fantasy, but it's surreal. Kind of like a realistic surrealism. I don't know. It just gives you that impression of surrealism because then at this moment he's just walking out again. A bit of a surprise that it's like, oh, because they didn't push that home that they didn't remind you of the deal or the offer that you can, get your old body back within a week. But you can easily
Yeah, you
remember
gotta
it in a short
you
episode
can
like
remember
that,
it.
no problem. And
And
so
you could yeah. And you could
just the
also remember
subtle way of just presenting the door there and it's him again coming out.
You
And
could
then
also
all the
remember the
words he
part where
says.
the salesman says that it's not very often that people revert. They're
Yeah,
not that go back
98% of
to
them don't.
98% satisfaction. And when he was younger without pain, with a couple moments ago, he realized that he couldn't go any days without her. So the idea of going to work and getting one for her too, it was too painful. That was more painful than the pain he's experiencing now.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just beautiful.
Yeah. And he's like, I could
And
just go with some pain now and then. And
yeah,
of course, it's probably harsher than what he's saying there, but it's still like, I'd rather end my life with you like this than try to start things over if I'm going to lose you. Because
yeah,
that's
the pain
basically what that
yeah,
face said.
yeah, the
That's
pain
what
I'm
that
feeling
face said.
now is not as bad as if we were separated.
Because you knew that wouldn't last.
Yeah, yeah, he'd go. Well, the
Well,
way he was acting, he'd go
the
cartwheeling
face,
into the street.
yeah, yeah. Well, with the face that she had on too, was saying, "You're not the man I love."
Right. And yeah,
You may have the memories inside you,
there
but
were
you know.
part of what bonded them together was also that they lived their whole life together, and so that new body separated them somehow.
Yeah. And what would people say?
Then we get the closing narration from Khalil Gibran Gibran's The Prophet. So more literature from Rod Serling. Love gives not but itself, and takes not from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love. Not a lesson, just a reminder from all the sentimentalists in the Twilight Zone.
That was a great closing. Not only the
Oh,
poetry, but the lines he said at the end. All the
mhm.
sentimentalists here at the Twilight Zone.
Right. Right. Because usually it's a lesson. And no, not this time. It's just,
Well, it usually is a lesson, and he's
this
just
one's a
saying that just
message.
to try and not say, just say to the audience, we're not preaching to you, we're just reminding you.
Mm.
It was a polite way of saying it and everything. Um, but no, it
If,
was eloquently expressed as usual.
if anything, it's saying save more money so you can buy both of the things.
Oh, yeah. Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
maybe,
Maybe,
maybe.
but
Yeah, I mean, it's still like put yourself in that place.
mhm.
The person you loved for so long, you come out and see them. It's a different body.
Yeah,
It's not them
they,
young. It may be a young body, but it's someone else.
I think that's might be what actually I was just saying it as a joke,
I
but
know, I know. I'm just having fun too, but it's still worth saying because that's the thing. It's someone else. And that's the thing. Where'd you get this body?
mhm. Yeah, they might be okay for a few weeks, but then they'd realize, this isn't right now. But it's been too long, and now we're stuck with these bodies. So I guess maybe we could just see ya later. We're gonna go live a different life now. That was fun. So they actually do break up instead of their 50 years of marriage is broken up because they entered these
Well, and then
constructed
I guess
bodies.
also if you're in a different body, you may become a different person in a way. I mean, we can't look at the two as completely separate because now what you're doing is you may start a different profession, different things, and he looks like Charles Atlas, so to speak. So he might start doing bodybuilding or something instead of what he did before. You meet different people. I mean, you can become completely different people at that point.
Mm. Yes, agreed. And then we have science fiction expert Phantom Outsider here. Can't they put her in suspended animation so he can get the money and then there's no risk? If he can get the money in a week, because I don't know how how
Well, that sounds
if
more
they
like a
have suspended.
layover plan, and they don't do that because of government
Yeah,
regulations. You
right.
got
No
to have cash
layovers.
up front. And if you have a big wad of it in your pocket, that's the way to do it. I was like, damn, that's so gangster. Can you
Yeah, he says,
imagine?
"Here's my $5,000. This is
Yeah,
what I
like
got."
54,000 in today's money cash right here. I had it with me. It made it simpler to do and stuff, but it's still fun.
He thought of that too. They need to have a follow up. The layaways. All right. Well, okay. Goodness. So what? So they ended up getting what they already had. Ugh, that was such a good episode,
Well, and it's a
but
parallel because he got out of that game with what he had coming into it, and then in the whole episode, they both leave with what they came into it.
mhm. Yeah, they didn't. At least they didn't lose. They did break even,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they did gain something. Maybe a greater appreciation for what they did have.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like they appreciated it to begin with. I mean, they were loving right from the beginning. But,
That's
this
true.
was a reminder, as Rod Serling said. I mean, everything they do in the intros and outros, those speeches, every word is carefully selected. And that's how strong of a show it is, because
Yeah.
those words mean something. And then, like I pointed out, the parallels in there, you come out of it what you put into it,
And that's how
It's
the Twilight Zone warms my cold heart. No, my heart's not cold. A glove cleaner here says, "Where is everybody?" Well, I don't
Oh,
know,
is your
but
screen blank too?
is it blank? Let me go
Oh,
check.
no, no,
No, it
no,
looks
I'm
good. It looks
kidding. I that was a joke in response
good.
to the chat. Remember, I had a screen outage before, and now
Yes.
there's like, where is everybody? Well, maybe they're having a screen outage too.
Oh.
Just
And
a
then the
joke.
and then the gift happens. It's a Easter episode.
It's still early 2026. All jokes are going to lie a little flat right now.
Hmm. So Phantom Outsider says, actually, he was thinking when he was young, if I take her home like this, I might kill her. Not
Oh,
because he wanted to, but because he's all buff and she is fragile. Hmm.
oh,
I
yeah.
didn't Phantom
Especially
Outsider.
he said like every night a honeymoon. I was like, uh-oh. Especially with how, Buffy is and everything. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Like
there's
Arnold,
definitely a danger
here
there.
comes the Terminator.
Hmm. And even if she survives, there's also heart attacks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, I mean, this is an afternoon show, so I'm going to refrain from some of the vocabulary and terminology that could be used in that
No, I
scene.
really appreciate that. But sooner or later, we have to talk about the gift.
Yes.
Ugh.
Well, he had a great setup for it.
Uh,
Like the previous week's preview for the gift. I'm sorry if I pointed out something you didn't actually put in there, but it was a great setup for it. In his description of what people are going to get next week.
right. Well, maybe that was. There's one more thing I liked about this episode, which we'll get to. The
Okay.
gift first aired on April 27th, 1962. And yeah, it was aired just a week after Easter, so you could call it a Easter episode, even a
Oh, yeah.
Christmas episode.
It definitely has
Uh,
biblical themes.
and then it bonks you on the head with a giant mallet.
Yeah. It is not subtle in its messaging.
It was written by Rod Serling, directed by George T. Clemens. And it's just I love the Twilight Zone, but what happened with this episode? And I found out what happened with this episode. At some point before filming the Twilight Zone pilot. Okay, this is from Mark Scott Zucker's book, the companion. Rod Serling wrote an hour-length pilot script that was never produced, entitled "I Shot an Arrow into the Air." Now, there is an actual episode called that, but this is a different episode that has no relation at all to that episode. So the plot concerned an intelligent and sensitive little boy who was shunned by his peers because his father died in an explosion of a homemade rocket ship. And his mother defends the father by saying he was a man whose dreams were just a little bigger than his knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the boy's solitude proves an asset when he stumbles upon a wounded alien in the woods and befriends him. And with his aid, the alien is able to return to his home planet. The boy grows up to be an astronaut. Years later, meets his friend once again in space. And
Sounds like a lovely story. Too bad it wasn't this one. But of course, they
yeah,
had already done it.
I would love that. It would have been a great precursor to E.T. 3 years later, Serling cannibalized the script and changed the location to Mexico and shortened it.
He absconded to Mexico with this IP.
Well, actually, probably one of the few things I do like. I do like the setting. It does feel a little bit. It feels like
Yeah,
Mexico.
and the preview, the description from Serling the week before was cool.
Yeah,
And I
it
do
intrigued me.
like you said, the setting and the guitar playing with the heavy reverb in the background. It sounded, I mean, it once again, it gave you this feeling of surreal, without it being over the top. I mean, now the setting is a 1960s Mexico with, I guess U.S. American impression of Mexico because the acting is like what people thought Mexican was at the time, in a way, with the accents and expressions, but not being overly stereotypical. You could see that they were trying to do it in a very progressive way, but they still had to do some things that a mostly gringo American audience would be able to accept and understand.
And what you
Um,
mean by that is that they use correct grammar and they spoke intelligently,
Well,
but the
no, that
accents
is
were like
actually
Speedy
that may be
Gonzales.
true, but that's not exactly what I was saying. I was just saying, like, if you watch it, when I say, maybe not as accurate, yeah, it was correct, not just correct grammar, but like an advanced grammar in a way, like when we get to the telegraph and him orating the telegraph to the postal assistant there, it's like yeah, that's a little bit different. And of course, you got to take yourself out of the picture a bit because typically they would not be speaking in English at all. But that being said, it was still
Right.
kind of like this square 1960s ish thing. But some of the portrayals were really good. Um, the doctor especially what was a good character, and I liked him. The little
I like the
boy
doctor too. Oh no.
had the look and
Oh no.
everything, but you could see him reading his lines basically.
Oh, the poor little boy. No, I don't. It's hard. I
Deer in
don't
the
like to be
headlights.
mean to child actors,
Yeah.
but he was not good.
No, it was deer in the headlights. Basically reading the script being held up for him, I think.
Like acting, what's that?
Yeah.
I think I just learned how to read a few weeks ago.
No, it was just
No, no.
he could read long before that, but it was recitation, not really acting. But you don't know the
Yeah,
circumstances, might have been thrown into it at the last minute and all that. And
he
maybe the kid's
he had
also
no
struggling with the fact that, all right, portray yourself as an English speaking Mexican, you
he
know?
had no emotion whatsoever the entire time. He
Yes.
was I was expecting, well, the only thing I was thinking, the only thing that's gonna save this is if we find out the little boy is an alien too.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I hadn't seen it before. And when he's talking to the doctor, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this guy came in the first run, you know? He was seeded here as a baby.
I wanted to
Uh,
really like this episode because it's in Mexico
yeah.
and
And
the and that seemed like a fun deviation.
no, and the setting was good, like the sets, the lighting, the music, as I said, with the guitar. I mean, that was really well thought out music, and it was well performed, and the reverb really made it kind of, surreal. I mean, it's almost like a painting, a black and white painting, but still, you could imagine if it was in color, it was like this painting of, some of the Mexican painters and stuff like that, or the look of the Southwest U.S. and all that. This kind of vibe. It really was beautiful.
Well,
It's
well,
just
yeah,
the
you are the
story.
music person, so the uh the guitar score was performed by Lorindo Almeida, and he was a great classical guitarist.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I'm
I
not
learned about
familiar
him
with all the
yesterday.
classical guitarists, but I could tell it was good, and what was written was very good. And it may have been from classical guitar repertoire because they could probably find a lot of pieces that, you know, wouldn't incur copyright issues.
So I'm gonna do my best to find all the little things that I like about this episode because there's so many things I don't like about this
Yeah.
episode. I do like this little donkey that's bringing in the officer who's lost his life,
Oh, yeah.
and a lady is making the sign of the cross, the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
That
Implying
that,
that this is a Catholic town. Now, they're not going to say Catholic, but, obviously you know
that
that.
they are Catholic, yes.
Sign of the Trinity, and it's Mexico. Not a
Hmm.
lot of Baptists in Mexico.
And everyone is in a tizzy over this, and that was the little boy Pedro. um, and so I translated the Spanish in here. Some people are saying he's dead. Who is he? And the officer responds that he is Salvador. So anytime they actually speak Spanish, you don't actually have to know what they have to say. It is just answered.
Well, you know what can be implied by that? Salvador also means Savior. And with the messaging of this being fairly, centered around the Christian uh, beliefs and everything, and, Christ being mentioned later, it's kind of interesting that they use that name,
Yeah,
Savior, at this point for a man who died.
right. And he did, and that's the officer that well,
Well, this
it's
Salvador
well
did
that's
not
interesting.
rise on the third day, though.
No, but that's interesting because he actually threatened who we're supposed to believe is the savior, and that's how he died
Hmm.
by the savior. That's the part that bothers me. I'm messed up. This is episode is messed up. Hello to
Yeah, yeah.
DJ Play Nice, but we'll get to it naturally because if I yeah. So they portrayed Mexicans like Ricardo Montalban, who was well, actually, yeah.
I don't know what to say, to kind of further
Oh,
talk about
I
what I
wish they were
said
that good.
before.
They
It's just like,
not as good as Ricardo
I
Montalban.
mean, when you get this, it's not like I'm looking for street Mexican. Of course, in Mexico they do have rural towns, they do have small towns and everything. And I'm not even saying 21st century. It's just the acting and the presence just gave you that 1960s perception of Mexico vibe, that you would get on television. That's all. And it's not to say that Mexico itself, it's one direction or another. It's just almost like you got this idea that I don't know. It just feels kind of like uh, televised. You know what
Yeah,
I
you're
mean?
right. This is Hollywood trying to be Mexico
Yeah, yeah.
and not
But
quite
it
getting it yet.
wasn't
This is
doing
the
it.
60s.
Fortunately, it wasn't doing it in an insulting stereotype type of way. But you could see some things in there that it was like, in some of the mannerisms, it's like, okay, that's the kind of mannerism or style of speech that an American would think a Mexican has, but they don't really. You know what I mean? Like Manolo, the bartender, when we see him, some of the things and some of his mannerisms and stuff, it's like, all right, he's overacting the Mexican thing.
Yes. And I could see that definitely. And it's just that perception be- because it's the 60s and it wasn't on purpose or anything. That
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
just
saying.
the
It
way.
wasn't meant to insult. It was just it's like, this is how we got to present it because this is what Americans think Mexicans are like in the good, in a good
Yeah.
light, even. It's just like, and I think that's the way it is. I'm sure if you were watching Mexican television at the time and they were portraying, people living in the U.S. and stuff, it would be, full of stereotypes too.
Well, there is a stereotype. They close this bar down at 4 p.m. That's really early to be closing down the bar just so that this bar is closed before nighttime.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was
Well,
typical.
he's closing it early, just like he's getting the post office, telegraph sender to do work after
Right.
hours.
Yeah,
An
Rudolfo does not
emergency
want to
has
do.
happened.
He doesn't want to do work. He's closed. His business is closed, but they make him because of the murder that happened, and he agrees. And
Yeah.
so let's see.
But it's
I
but
didn't know
it's
that
it's one of those things where it's like he's
he's
there
a
once again, like, I don't want to work now. I've worked so long that why are you making me work now? It's like when normally the response would be something like, "What's going on?"
right, but I guess he was already having a little fun, and he didn't like having it broken up. This person, this is Scotty, Scotty. Um, what's his first name?
I don't know.
Vito,
It's your
Vito,
co-host.
Vito. Yeah, that a different Scotty. Vito Geisto Scorzari. Maybe there is no Scotty. I don't know why that keeps coming up. Very confusing.
That was his nickname.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he was in lots of 60s television and all that stuff. He's in a bunch of things. An Italian actor.
Maybe
He
he was an
appeared
engineer.
4 times on Gilligan's Island. That's the one I'm mentioning.
4 times on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
Wow.
he played a Japanese sailor. So now he's playing a Mexican. And so the Officer Sanchez needs Rodolfo to send a telegram, and
Wow.
for the dead Officer Salvador.
That's some range there, being able to play a Mexican as well as someone who's Japanese.
Yeah, and this guy here, Sanchez, I was happy to find out is also he played the voice whenever for Fred Flintstone. After the unfortunate passing of Alan Reed.
Oh, okay. Fred 2.
Yeah, Fred Flintstone too. I didn't even know that happened. So I learned that. I watched
Wow.
the Flintstones a bunch when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. But I didn't know that either, and I haven't followed up as an adult.
Yep.
It's like you get the themes.
And it's quite a long telegraph describing what happened.
Yeah.
That including an unidentified aircraft. So I'm like, okay, there's a spaceship somewhere that crashed.
Mm-hmm. The silver disc.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing that Sanchez knows is that he heard some shots and found the body of his fellow officer, Salvador.
Yeah. And it's funny, as he's reciting this, his right arm keeps coming down on the table. He uses that as a platform for acting as he dictates the thing for the telegraph, and the telegraph operator there who's taking the notes would grab his arm occasionally and just hold it and be like, and it was like, man, this is like overacting. But it was, that's part of what I said, that like, are they trying to overact a Mexican attribute here or something? It's not necessarily Mexican, but it might be what people perceive, like over dramatic, perhaps.
Or maybe this is such a quiet, peaceful village and
Like a
murder never happens.
telenovela.
Yeah, it could be that. Oh, in that case, they should have moved their arms more.
They weren't arguing enough.
No, that's true. So he calls this being a monster in the darkness, and he fired several shots at it, and believing he'd wounded it, and that's the telegram. And now here's the opening narration.
Well, his partner, oh yeah, he did fire it, but his partner was killed by the monster, but the partner fired first. El Salvador.
Does it say that he fired first, or just that
Yeah.
he wanted to kill him?
Oh.
Because later on he says he wanted to kill me, but he didn't say he fired first. Wanted
Oh, you know what?
to.
I might have just totally put that in myself just by feeling that
That,
impression, I guess.
yeah, I tried to tell him that I came in peace, so this is the alien that we haven't met yet. He wanted, since he mentioned it, he wanted to kill me. I tried to get the gun away from him, and yeah, and that's the
And the
altercation that
gun
led
went
to the
off.
accident
Yep, and the gun went
against his
off.
body.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, that's better. That the
Hmm.
person named Salvador didn't necessarily fire
Yeah.
first.
This is why we have trials and everything.
Yeah,
But we're
oh,
just
that's very
supposed to
good.
accept this being as goodness. Like the episode's like, this man is good. You must think he's good.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help with how it portrays some of the people like the military when they come in.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Oh, that's not good. So much of the episode very cringy. Canadian Spider-Man. Hello. Good to see you. I mean, the guy would be really odd if he's having a good time, then there's a dead body. What? What are you talking? What? Yeah, nobody's having a good time here. Well, he was having a good time until the dead body arrived. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
I see
not
what you're
like he
saying
was
now.
going to continue doing it.
No, no. Yeah, that girl doesn't show up again ever. I don't see her anymore after this. But
No,
here's the opening
it's
narration.
not the same girl as the voice later, like the lady in the crowd that's burn it.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
it's the devil. Well, here, opening narration. The place is Mexico.
Yes, Rod comes out
Just
of the curtains.
just across the Texas border, a mountain village held back in time by its remoteness and suddenly intruded upon by the 20th century.
There we
And
go.
this is Pedro. 9 years old, a lonely, rootless little boy who will soon make the acquaintance of a traveler from a distant place. We are at present 40 miles from the Rio Grande, but any place and all places can be the Twilight Zone. The Rio Grande, yeah. Okay, so
Grande.
so the doctor tries to learn precisely what's going on. Yeah, and oh, there's the guitar. We'll get back to him in a minute. The Gift by produced by Buck Houghton and written by Rod Serling and then rewritten. I want to see the original one though. Directed by Alan H. Miner. They could have just used the original story and kept everything in Mexico, and it would have been fun.
Now, is that supposed to be in the center and the back of the bar? Is that supposed to be like a Victrola, basically like a record player with a big metal horn on it?
That's what that looks. You know what? That's
Except
probably
you
what
don't
that
see
is.
the bass to it. You just see the horn coming out of, I don't know, looks like I don't know, plaster or so, I don't. Oh no, I do see a bass. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's bass right there, and there's a little crank. You can crank it,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and there's a calendar. Yep. Good set dressing.
Yeah,
Good set
calendar.
dressing in this episode.
What calendar series is that? Mexican of the month with a sombrero
Yeah.
on.
No, I think it's just one picture for the whole year.
Oh, okay.
Liza's here. Hello.
I guess on the calendars in Mexico, they actually have people with sombreros.
Mexicans don't really look like Japanese. Trust me. I do trust you, Canadian Spider-Man. I live in Texas.
Well, there are some people, from Asia that moved into Latin America. There's a large Japanese population or of Japanese descent in Brazil. Um, some in, I knew some people that were Latin American students when I was in grad school that were of Asian descent and stuff. So it's not unheard of, but it's probably not the case with that actor. It's probably just like you've seen in some of the older TV, the the portrayals of like Japanese people. A lot of times you're like, that doesn't look like a Japanese person. That's just an exotic looking face.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the TV at the
and
time.
yeah, and that was the thing for a while until people started hiring more appropriately for certain actors and
Well, during
the
World War II,
ethnicities.
they were in, you know,
Oh no.
camps.
Yeah. Yeah, they unfortunately, yes. America did go through that terrible period where they put people who just looked Japanese or whatever in
Well, anyone that was
camps.
of Japanese descent, no matter what their affiliations were or, you know, what they did
Yeah,
or
and
anything, it was just done.
yeah, George Takei,
Yeah.
for instance, and luckily his story ended happily as he became Sulu. Canadian Spider-Man says, I'm guessing that's the Iberian Peninsula crossing. Oh wow. Now,
Could
some
be.
Native Americans do have similar facial features to Japanese folk. Well, okay, well now you say
Well,
that
yeah.
though,
I
there's a
mean
lot of
that.
Native Americans who are Mexican. So
Well,
now
yeah.
we're
I
turning it
mean
into everything.
well, I mean, Native
And
Americans were
that's
ancestrally Asian.
yeah, and that's why it's not a great thing to
But
generalize.
but I'm saying, yeah, the modern faces can look different. But I'm saying during this period, though, the actor that we saw there playing a Mexican postal worker probably did not look as Japanese as a common Japanese person does.
Mhm.
Because, yeah,
So
there may be Japanese people who spread out as well as other Asian folks around the world and everything. But if you go to Japan, as far as people who are actually Japanese there, their culture and look has pretty much been maintained. You know, there's more
mm,
diversity outside of Japan than within, as far as genetics are concerned. There's some,
alrighty.
there's some. I'm not saying none, but it, I guess I should. I'm
That's
getting
fine.
too deep here. I'm not
You
helping.
are, you are. No, it's okay. It's okay. I
I'm
don't know
just
too
saying
much
that
about this,
actor
so
played. I'm just saying that actor playing both a Japanese person on Gilligan's Island and a Mexican here, it's like,
it that's just the
yeah,
60s for you.
it would not happen today.
No, no. Hello to Suzanne. Hey, Suzanne. How are you doing today? And so the doctor's trying to learn precisely what's going on, who killed Salvador, but Sanchez cannot help him really. And this is probably the second best character in the episode. And this without him, this episode would be really, really painful, more painful than it is. So he did good in this. Life is good. Oh, that's great to hear. So he says though, this character, when- oh, it doesn't say what his name. Nico Minardos. And yeah, that's his name, Nico.
Hmm.
And he says, I did some 30 movies over the years and a number of television. And of all those, the Twilight Zone is the one I get more mail about.
Huh.
I'm getting fan mail from Switzerland, Ireland, Germany, as well as
Wow.
the United States. Interesting.
Wow.
And he says we all knew it was a allegory to Jesus Christ, which was the premise, and
Hmm.
everyone was trying to remain calm for the crowd sequence. So he did stuff and things. Have gun rule travel and lots of other stuff. So Sanchez says some giant thing escaped in the darkness. I fired several shots.
Hmm.
Later I found some blood stains. They're sending some army men from the state capitol. I should have got some clips for this
Well,
because they say
didn't
this way
he
differently.
call for these army men?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
he
just
does.
sending them. Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
They're not just sending them. He
Right.
requested them.
He just requested it with the telegram, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
That's
I'm
what the
just wondering
telegram was
if he
for.
was trying to evade his involvement in that a bit or not by
Yeah.
saying they're
Well, he
sending
did.
them.
He sent the telegram right in front
Yeah.
of
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Very
oh,
good.
who is my guest? It's a voice I can't place. Oh, this is Lawrence from the
The
Wayfarer Project
Wayfarer
channel,
Project. Yes. Who
and
that?
the doctor's saying, "You sure you didn't just just hallucinate this? Are you sure about what you saw?" That he wants to be sure that this wasn't an illusion. I feel like he wants to say, "Are you sure you're not just a little bit crazy?" But he just doesn't say it.
At least he didn't mention tequila.
True. Yeah. Do you think you were at the bar a little bit too long earlier? The officer but then the officer points to the dead body and says, "Is that an illusion?" dramatically, and then storms off, telling everybody to go home and lock their doors.
Yes.
And the doctor confirms that the others can take Salvador to the priest. He's going to be
There we
buried and
go.
all
There
that.
is the body, and that's him pointing and saying, yes. Is that an illusion? It's like, no, we know that. We're just talking about
Yeah.
what you saw.
Yeah, we're talking about putting the whole story together.
Mhm.
So the bartender gives the doctor one last drink because he's trying to close up the bar for the night.
Yep.
And everybody's talking about staying indoors, keeping your doors locked. And then Pedro arrives
Yep.
in this fear-filled town.
Now, they do mention, though, how he's an astronomer. We don't see any evidence of that, but we get the impression that this boy is interested in the stars and stuff.
Hey, stars and stuff. He's stargazes. We don't
Yeah.
see the telescope.
Well, he
If
may
he,
not have one. Maybe maybe he's more of an astrologer.
or maybe he has one of those telescopes that just collapses and it doesn't have a stand and you have to hold it. I don't
But
know.
either way, they
But
point that out without showing it, so it's a little weird. It's a bit odd
yeah.
in
Yeah,
understanding
yeah,
the
exactly.
character.
But knowing that this was a pilot where he was the son of a rocket ship builder and that he actually had a history with it and he becomes an astronaut when he grows up and he meets an alien and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
that would tie together his astronomy. But here it's
Hmm.
just a side piece to his character that we don't really
We
explore.
don't see, and
The only
doesn't
thing
really link up later too much, other than you think, well, maybe he's more accepting of the stranger, because, well, we'll see when the stranger comes. It's just almost like, they have a bond because this kid's the only one that isn't looking at him like he's, I don't know.
a monster
Yeah.
or he's not afraid of him.
But then
All
when
these
we see
other
the guy, he
humans are
doesn't look
afraid.
like a monster. He just looked like an upset
And,
guy that
and yeah,
came to the
just a
bar.
dude. Yeah, I want some wine.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say it like that. All right. And yeah, so he works for the bar, he sweeps, he does other chores. He enjoys examining the stars and he sent out for some water and unsurprisingly this kid did not act for very long, just a few years.
Hmm.
But Manuelo is played by Cliff Osmond, is that right?
I thought it was Manolo.
Manolo.
Yeah.
See, I started writing Manuel because I was like, what are they saying? But it is
Yeah,
Manolo.
Manolo
Yeah,
is the
Manolo.
name, as well as Manuel are two separate names.
Yeah. The one that I'm saying is the one I'm more familiar with. I've never heard
Yeah,
of Manolo. So
I
this
knew
is new
one
for me.
Manolo
Yeah, new to
in my
me.
life, but yeah, it's not as common. Definitely.
Let me grab the casting sheets because that helps me a little, if I can.
But yeah, the
Oh,
guy's
that
unnecessarily
shouldn't go
rude
there.
to the kid anyway,
He
the
is. He's cold
bartender.
to him. He provides him a job
Well,
and a place to sleep, but that's it. There's no friendship.
yeah, well, he says he pays him well, but he can't have an orphanage or anything like that. But you get the
Right.
impression from the guy trying to over-explain it that, yeah, as you see, he's rude to him. He kind of probably is rude and not nice to the kid at all. And then at the same time is trying to, you know, tell himself that he's justified in being not nice, but he's a good person anyway because he gives him a job and all that, and he pays him well. But you don't know if he actually does.
Right. He
It's
says
just what he's
actually
saying to
he
the
describes
doctor.
it. He describes it as overpaying. He
Hmm.
overpays him.
It's
So
really probably
that's
underpay,
that's
if at
less
all.
probably. See, Manolo is Cliff Osmond. Okay, I got it right.
But it does make you wonder, where's the boy from? What happened to his family and stuff.
Right. His dad blew up a rocket ship, and we don't know what happened to his mom.
Doctor's name, Minardos.
But
Yep.
I'm just making that up because that's from the original story, which is not actually canon. Um,
Oh, did you
it's
type
just
this up? Because it does say Manuelo.
yeah. See, that's where I got it from. See, it's not my fault.
But
I'm
in
gonna
the
blame
but in the thing
Mark's.
they just say Manolo. They don't say
Yeah,
Manuelo.
everybody says Manolo, so that's his name. So you're correct. I am
But
gonna blame
but this is
this
the casting
mistake.
sheet. I guess they made a
No, no,
typo
no.
there.
I'm gonna blame Mark Scott Zicree. This is for his book.
Oh, okay.
He can make mistakes, and, and that might be one of them.
Okay. He's
I love Mark Scott Zicree. I'm very glad he wrote this book, and
No,
I
that's
love it very
fine. No,
much.
it's
But yeah, that's what happened to my notes.
yeah, I knew you didn't make it because man, you took some time to make that look like a typewriter on paper.
No, no. Oh, Edmund Vargas. That's the kid's name. And then
Hmm.
who doesn't have any? He's a Vulcan in this episode.
He's a Vulcan in this episode.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any. He didn't express any emotion.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
But even worse than a Vulcan, because a Vulcan does express curiosity.
Hmm.
So this isn't. Anyway,
Well, he does.
Sigvaldison.
He asks Williams questions.
True. Sigvaldison, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Wow.
Well,
Look
we're
at
earning
that.
it
That's
today.
amazing. Yes, yes, for the Twilight Zone, no less. Sigvaldison with the $20 super chat says, here's some coin for you to buy a bottle of wine, Jill, as you requested. Praise to our Eldritch God too. Oh, thank you, Siggy. That's really sweet of you. Oh, I, I was guess I did demand wine, didn't I? I think I was just quoting the character, but
Yeah, you
that
were
worked in my
quoting the
favor.
character, but that's okay.
Mhm. Well, in that case, I'll play these. Hold on, I'll fix it in a minute.
That's green.
It is. It is green.
I only use it for medicinal purposes.
Right?
All right. You can get some green wine.
Yeah, now I have to find green wine.
Well, March will be coming up soon.
Oh, there you go. Oh no, I don't know if I like putting food dye in my liquor. Phantom Outsider says maybe he was the Mexican version of Anthony Fremont. Oh no, I wish. That would be fun. I wish he could do something. But the doctor's instantly curious about Pedro, wondering where he came from. Manuelo doesn't really know. But the authorities are always asking him why Pedro isn't in school. Oh, that's another thing about him. He's like, oh, okay. You know, Manolo has hired him, but he doesn't take the responsibility of being Pedro's father, or, he doesn't really care for him outside of here's a job and a place to sleep. So going to school, he's not really concerned with that or anything. And the doctor asks if Pedro has any friends, and Manolo says no, he talks like an old man, so he doesn't have any friends. It's just like, oh wow, that's
Well, I think you have the slide up, but we're still large instead of the episode.
yes, that's true. That's true. We don't want that. Here we go.
We're talking
Thank you.
about the kid there, and now it's not the kid. Now we're on.
It's okay. The kid's still there. He's going to
Yeah.
get water because my notes are ahead of my slides, but that's
No
okay.
problem.
We're doing fine. I like the doctor's actor, Nico. He's
Yeah.
good.
No, I like the doctor as well. It was a cool character to play. It's somebody that has compassion, who's sensitive, but also, he carried himself like a man's man. And there's the older gentleman who is saying you need to be more
he just
compassionate with the child,
exactly.
basically.
Exactly. He tells Manolo how to be. Why would he smile, the boy? What is there to delight him? His poverty?
Mm-hmm.
Why should he smile? Perhaps, Manolo. Perhaps on some occasion, some festive occasion, instead of handing him a broom or a tray, extend him a hand. And his performance of that is really great. He doesn't show up again. He gets up and he's like he's the blind musician. He's a sage giving sage advice on how to be a human being to Manolo, and tells the boy to stay inside, lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a kid cannot live on money alone. They need more than that. They need emotional care. And he's not getting that right now. And maybe that's why he doesn't express emotion. This is starting to make more sense now.
Well, they mentioned poverty, so it's not like what he's being paid is all that great either. It's just like, but yeah, what surrounds him? He's not around other children. He doesn't really have parents, just a
right.
bartender.
He's not going to school. That's
that
bad.
pays him a little bit for cleaning tables and stuff, and that's it.
Canadian Spider-Man says that Spain has green wine.
Wow.
Interesting. I forget a bit about it because Spain has cheap booze and was not sober, but Spain definitely has green wine. It's unripened fruit wine, I believe. Interesting. It was Portugal as well. It's basically young wine that you drink only after a couple of months after making it. If you want green whiskey instead of wine, in TNG, it is green. Was Aldabin that is, I feel like that's spelled differently. But yes, Aldabian whiskey.
Aldebaran.
Mexican
Aldebaran.
whiskey from Relics. Oh no, he spelled it right. Aldebaran whiskey.
Yep, Aldebaran.
Huh. I don't know why I remembered it differently. And so his name is Vladimir Sokolov. And so he's Russian. But he's great. He does a good job in this.
Yeah, I started in with Aldebaran.
I miss this guy as soon as he leaves. Because he's the best actor in this episode, and he's gone instantly.
Well, they're trying to close up now.
Yeah, that's right.
Finally.
So So after Ignacio implores Manolo to keep Pedro inside, and then when Pedro asks if he can visit later, Ignacio refuses, hoping the boy will stay safely inside. And so he says that darkness is his friend because he's blind. And so
Yes.
Manolo is, yeah.
That's the old man. I mean, he walks off that way. Darkness is my friend, but it's not
Yeah.
the same for you. Basically,
I think
stay
just
inside.
yeah, I just appreciate everything he delivers because that's good.
Yeah. But
Manolo
anyway,
is
as soon as
closing
he
up.
leaves, that's when the stranger comes.
So the doctor would be told to leave now, and on the doctor's way out, somebody else walks in, asking for wine and promising that he's not going to stay long. I know you guys are closing, but I just want some wine. And Pedro offers to get him some wine, even though Manolo is saying it is after hours. So
Yeah, he says that after Pedro. Pedro offers first, and then Manolo's like, no, no, no. But you saw their faces. You thought like they saw a monster. Then you see the guy, and it's like, this is a regular guy. He just looks
yeah,
worried, like the rest of you.
right.
You're all worried. I mean, how is this unusual?
Yes, this is Jeffrey Horn, born in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah, I thought that was neat,
But the
considering the
thing,
episode.
but the, yeah, well, they're different countries still. But
Yeah,
the
they're
thing
different
is,
countries, but you know.
yeah, I spent like 3 weeks in Argentina, completely different accents too. But anything I was going to say about this character, it's like that there's really no reason for them to be so standoffish with him to begin with. Now, if there was, he does have gunshot wounds, but it's not obvious visually. You
No,
find it out later, but
he's
visually you
standing
don't.
up. He's
Now, if
standing
he
up
had like a
straight.
blood splotch on himself, then people would be like, what? Taken aback. But just looking worried and stressed like everyone else, you don't get that impression.
No, I didn't get the impression at all that he had been injured. The problem with that is that he asked for wine, and we're watching black and white television, so it just still looks like wine, even though it's spilling from his palm as if he's being crucified. And
I did not
the
see that either, to be honest with you.
okay, that's weird. No, this episode just gets strange.
But I didn't see that. I mean, this is what I saw and gathered from the upcoming sequence. When the bottle of wine is given to him, well, Manolo drops it. He kind of puts it on the table and it falls off. But he's like, that's not a bottle of wine because it didn't break. And I'm like, did this guy
Then what
kind
was
of
it?
magically make the bottle of wine into like a not bottle of wine? I mean, what would it, I mean, if you're doing the water into wine thing, you missed it. I don't know what's going on. Uh,
Were they trying to? It didn't even occur to me that they were trying to do a miracle here.
or
This
well, neither do I. But when you mentioned that he had like blood coming out of his wrists or palms or something, I was like, I didn't see that. I mean, I just saw Manolo come out with a bottle of wine that really wasn't because it hit the ground and didn't break. And he's like, this isn't a bottle of wine,
it does spill,
implying
but it's
that the
not his.
stranger changed it into something. Did he
So,
change it into a plastic bottle of wine?
well, something's spilling, and it's not the bottle; it's his
Oh,
blood.
but where's it
But
coming out? It's his blood from his body. Okay, I guess.
okay,
But it
I
just
didn't get a
visually,
good
I
picture
didn't
of it.
see it. I didn't see, that
I
was
didn't get a
what was
picture of it,
happening.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the
Visually, I
best
was
I
just
got.
confused.
Cause yeah, visual, but they do show his palm. I should
Okay.
have gotten a screen cap of that, but I wasn't thinking about it until later when I was thinking back on it.
Well, no,
This
definitely. I was trying to
scene,
pick up on the symbolism here and biblical symbolism, but I missed it here
it
somehow. I
gets
guess.
confusing from this point onward, honestly. And because he's supposed to be coming in peace, and he decides it's a great idea to knock out the bartender. And
Yeah,
and
I
knock
mean that's the
Manolo
thing.
out.
That's what I said. The Manolo said that's not a bottle of wine. It didn't break. And then the guy picks up the bottle and hits Manolo over the head with it, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I had to do that, but he made me." I'm
He
like,
made me do it.
I
Yeah,
really didn't
wait,
get
what?
that impression yet. Yeah, the guy was mean to you, but what the hell's going on?
What is going on is the major question.
Yeah.
Now we know later he goes to snitch on him, but how are we supposed to know that he knows what Manolo is thinking? And even if so, would a Jesus character smash people on the head like that?
No, he didn't exactly knock out Pontius Pilate.
So I don't remember that part of the Bible.
No.
That's what's weird to me.
Well, I'm not saying that that's what Manolo represented either. I mean, I was trying to look at the parallels and stuff and see what might have been symbolized in here, but I missed that blood thing, and then the bottle sequence was weird. No, I just wasn't getting it. I mean, I get overall what they're trying to do with the people in general not receiving him and being
Favorably.
unnecessarily mean to him.
Well, they're being very superstitious
Oh yeah, these are
and
definitely the type of people that would pick Barabbas over Jesus.
I was trying to follow on the best I could, but this is where it starts to lose me because we have an alien here. I can understand somewhat why the people are leery of him. He just killed an officer, and they don't really know the circumstances of what led to that, or that the officer was threatening him first. We don't really know what happened there because there are no witnesses,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's just knocked out a bartender just because he was maybe trying to go get help, but he doesn't even say that.
No, yeah, they needed to do that better. Where Manolo needed to be more like a threat to the stranger here.
Yeah, and even if he is a threat, that's just not. Jesus turns the other
Yeah.
cheek. I don't get this.
Well,
This doesn't make
I would
sense.
say, yeah, Jesus did use force against the money lenders in the temple and so forth. So it's
Oh,
not
well,
that,
but he
yeah, the
tipped
turn
over a
the other
table.
cheek thing has
He
been
tipped over a table and
overdone.
yelled at him.
Yeah, the turn the other cheek thing has been overdone. In many ways, a lot of interpretations say that it was, offering the second chance, like, offering a second chance, like turn the other cheek. Okay, I'll turn the other cheek. If you slap me again, though, it's a complete insult. Then it's like
Yeah,
still
but
give
Jesus
people a
didn't
chance.
physically hurt the moneylenders. He just tipped over the table and gave him a lesson, like he
Yeah,
lectured
I
them.
know it's different than hitting them over the head, but
I
I'm just
yeah,
saying that
yeah, he
Jesus
didn't knock
wasn't
any of them
always just
unconscious.
a passive, not stand up for yourself person.
Well, yeah,
But
well, he was a
what?
leader, so in that case, he was leading them and telling them they were wrong in
Yeah,
what they were doing, but he still didn't smash them with the table.
no. But I mean, what they needed to do here that would have made it reasonable is just maybe have Manolo be more of a threat, like emphasizing that he's trying to get the authorities or something that would cause pressure to the stranger. Not
That
that
would
he
have
gave
helped.
you the bottle of wine you asked for. Somehow it isn't really right because it didn't break. I don't know, but I didn't understand that statement at all. But the thing is, from he picks it off the ground and hits him over the head, I had to. No, you didn't really.
You really didn't have to. And then when that happens, you start to question what really happened with the officer.
And I was still thinking at this time, what did he use some sort of power to change that bottle of wine into like a plastic bottle of wine or just a club? I don't know what it was. I didn't understand that statement saying it's not a bottle of wine. It didn't break.
I'm not sure either. No, I cannot
I
answer that
guess they were
question.
trying to emphasize that the blood didn't come from the bottle,
Right.
maybe,
The blood
but
came
the
from him.
line didn't work and
Yes.
I didn't
The line
understand.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you do go through every scene, you do see him bleeding. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I did get the screen cap. Do you see it now?
Okay.
There's the
Yeah.
blood coming
Oh
from
no,
his
I see
wrist.
it now. I just meant at the time in the sequence, and I was already confused by other things. I mean, I mean, you get the impression he has bloodshot wounds, but here they're showing the back of the hand. So it, the although that is a palm there, but we see another hand there over top. So okay, yeah. Plus, I'm
Yeah.
more of the opinion that it was actually through the wrist, not the palm.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm
Well,
not so
no, I
sure
mean
about
it would.
it.
Well, that has to do with the body being able to like support its own weight, being held up by nails through two wrists is more likely than through the palms.
Guess you just have to be really careful because there's a lot of very important things in the wrist. But
Well, they're not worried about damage there. They just still want the body to stay up, So the wrist would suspend it better because you could get it between the radius and the ulna, two bones, rather than phalanges on the fingers, which would
and
more
that's what
likely be.
happens when we have a Jesus Twilight Zone episode.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we
Let's
have
move
to get
on.
the
Let's move on.
excruciating, gory details of crucifixion.
All
Yeah.
right, let's move on.
So I'm just gonna call him Mr. Williams because eventually that's what we figure out his name is for some reason. But you can also call him
Well,
Alien
his name
Jesus
is
if you want.
Williams, which made no freaking sense.
Yeah. Well, I like calling him Williams instead of Alien Jesus. So
Well, yeah,
like
it
he
doesn't.
says,
But the thing is, oh, I'll let you go. I'm sorry. I'll
that's
complain
okay.
about the name Williams later.
Well, Williams says, I didn't want to hurt him. He gave me no choice. I tried to explain before to that policeman or soldier or whoever it was. I tried to tell him I came in peace. He wanted to kill me. I tried to get the gun away from him, and it went off against his body. And then the man who came afterwards kept firing at me. So that's his story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then
And the
back to the
music tells
Williams.
us we're supposed to trust him. So,
Yeah, well, that does help. But back to Williams. Why? I mean, all right, he's an extraterrestrial. All right, so we could say you could either give him an extraterrestrial name, which means it needs to be different than an Earth name, or you can give him an Earth name. Since we're set in Mexico, why not like something in Spanish? Um, or but then okay, let's just pick a random Anglo name, Williams or Peterson. It's like he's supposed to be a Jesus figure. Maybe you could have come up with a name that referenced that more. If you didn't want to give him an alien name or something that's within the setting of your story, at least give him something that's biblical. Williams. I don't know, man. It didn't make sense
oh,
to me.
oh, DJ Play Nice says Jesus Sanchez Williams, great guy. Oh, see, DJ Play Nice fixed the name for you. Yeah, there are some Spanish parents who name their kids Jesus,
I know it's
but
well, yeah. That's a very popular name. And I know it's possible to have the last name Williams in Latin America. I mean, it came from like an English speaking place, but there are people that have lived there now that have,
but
some
yeah.
Anglo names. But I mean, this is an alien that's supposed to be representing a Jesus like figure. You could come up with some sort of ancient name that's a little bit more rooted. You know what I mean?
I'm actually glad that it's not because I don't like to think of him as a Jesus figure because I'm pretty sure the Jesus I know about didn't smash people in the head
Okay, okay,
or
all right.
shoot
Well, I'm
people
just saying
or
from
the,
their perspective, I'm
I
wondering
think
why they chose Williams.
I think that I don't remember Jesus ever having a gun in the Bible, but if he did, I think he would have better trigger discipline.
Or, yeah, I mean, like I said, it could be another ancient name. What about just John? You know, at least it's somewhat biblical and at the same time generic,
John. Yeah, John works. Mark. You just pick one
Williams
of
is
those.
weird.
Or Marcus. Marcus is the Spanish version. Or, yeah, any of those names. So the doctor decides to stay and help now that they realize that Williams is damaged. He's hurt because now they saw the blood spilling everywhere. That was not wine. And from the dialogue he has, we're realizing that he's an alien when he says, because every alien says, "I'm coming in peace." So now we know that he's an alien, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's got a flying saucer.
Yeah, well, we knew the implication. It was just strange at first. The stranger comes up and they're all afraid of him before they see the blood or anything else, and it's like, what?
It's just strange. It doesn't get me because I'm a
And now
former
he's in the
Catholic. I
bed
should be
because I guess,
feeling the spirit, and I just don't in this episode.
well, yeah, I mean, we get the idea that, all right, he's in bed and the doctor's going to treat him because we already seen the doctor is, a caring guy. He has
He
morals
is.
and stuff.
He
And so
has
we already know
compassion.
that.
He has
Yeah.
compassion and understanding for that which he doesn't understand, and he's the foil to many of the townspeople who don't have patience for what they don't understand. But he does, and so does Pedro. And so he wants to help him. Oh, there's the gift already. I'm getting ahead.
No, this is where it's given.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right here because he's talking to Pedro, and Pedro's wondering, why am I the only person that's okay with you? And he's like, I don't know. Well, or actually, the stranger's asking him that. And Pedro's like, well, it's because I'm an outsider too, you know.
Yeah, because Pedro doesn't have a family, and
Yeah,
Williams is an alien who came to help Earth, but all he's doing is causing trouble.
I guess.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that wasn't done well enough because it was off screen. We didn't see any of it, and we just have two different stories now. And I mean, we get the impression that this alien is probably really a good guy at heart, and that maybe the police officer is, eh, maybe not totally in the right there. I mean, you kind of get that impression, but it wasn't driven home. But you do
And
get
by
the
it
idea.
wasn't driven home, we're not given any proof.
Yeah, and plus the other people, like everyone, except for the doctor, kind of, and the little boy, everyone else is like afraid of this guy on sight before there was any reason to be. Like there was no reason to suspect he's what came out of the spaceship. He's not a monster, obviously.
Right. He could just be lost in the desert or wherever they
Yeah,
are.
or a nervous citizen like the rest of them.
Hmm. Yeah, there are plenty of people to make that a possibility. But anyway, no matter what we believe, Pedro thinks he's great, and he immediately becomes friends with Williams because he's an orphan and he relates to strangers. That's interesting. Uh, and since we teach our kids not to talk to strangers, but never mind. Other and so Williams tells Pedro, um, "I've got a gift for you. Go get it from my poncho." And he doesn't tell him what it is. And usually when I get a gift, I look at what it is, but
Hmm.
nobody's interested in what the gift is right now. It's like, oh, okay, you got me a book. Whatever. I hope it's not a cookbook.
Yeah. Well, that's what the
It is
town
kind of.
thought later.
Yeah, exactly. This is. I should like this episode because, well, I was going to get to that later, but
Hmm.
because it's the opposite of that episode. So you think that would work.
Well, maybe the execution is the problem, and at the same time, I guess just taking another story kind of makes me a little bit more concerned. Where it's like it's one thing if you're adapting a story, but one that you already kind of did, and we're gonna rework it this time. That was a little strange.
Oh, Suzanne's thanking Siggy for supporting me. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Siggy. Just trying to help her get some wine. All right. And I read that one. I'm just looking to see if I missed anything. Aldebaran. Aldebaran. That's how you say it. Thank you.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought it was Aldebaran.
Yeah. Aldebaran. That's how Picard says it. That's yes. Okay. So I do have
Okay.
a reason
Well,
for
I
not
guess
being able to
Picard's
read
been out there more
because
than I have.
Picard is a British French person and he pronounces it Aldebaran. Yeah, that's what it is. Man can't. Okay.
Yes.
We're blaming Patrick Stewart on that one. So I'm
Picard
blaming all
is
sorts of people today.
a Franco-Anglican or an Anglo-Franklin, I guess.
See, he didn't need to hit the guy, but he wanted to. So he had no impulse control on Space Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I look at it as more of like a script issue where basically Manolo should have been given a line or an action to make it more reasonable for, Williams to hit him
Oh
over the
no.
head. Here we are, Williams.
It was not driven home, just like poor Pedro. Oh no. All right. Okay. Caught up there. All right. So the doctor comes in to treat him. And gosh. Oh, right. Anyway, the doctor has compassion for him and he notices that his heartbeat is stronger than his.
Yes. He wishes he had this guy's pulse. Now, this brings up an issue with what's coming later. Because here we're
Then
obviously getting the impression from especially at the end of the procedure afterwards, is that this guy has an unusual ability to be, to have survived these gunshots and then
you
to
are.
be somewhat fine, because the
Mhm.
doctor does mention that he should have died from blood loss. He mentions that later.
I know exactly where you're going with that. That is
But
one of the
it's like,
biggest problems
okay,
I have with the end
yeah,
of this
all
episode.
right, all right. We'll get to
We
just
will get there.
here,
Okay.
just put a pin in that.
We're gonna put a pin in he has a very strong constitution and
Yes.
you've got to remember that for later. It will be important. He is refusing ether as an anesthetic. He's like, nope,
Mm-hmm.
just dig those suckers out of me. I'm fine. And he does.
Yeah, the kid wants him to take it, but the doctor says, "I will save a man in the way that he pleases," or
Here's my
something like
impression of
that.
the little boy. You have to give him something.
Mm-hmm.
I might have done it better than he did. Oh man. And so in fact the only person who needs anesthetic is post surgery is the doctor himself because he asks Manolo for some whiskey when he's finished with his job. And after he finished operating on him, removing those bullets. And Williams made no noise. Pedro decides that Williams is his friend and suggests that they got to him just in time, but the doctor says they got to him way too late. He should be dead by now. But somehow Williams survived. So there's both the
Williams.
supernatural and alien possibilities. Goodness. And so okay, so this kind of cringy here. All right. Manolo
And it stands out from everything else in what way?
admits So here's Manolo is admitting that during the operation he went out to tell Officer Sanchez to come here to find out who killed Officer Salvador. And remember, Sanchez is coming with an entourage of other
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, this.
army people that are gonna follow
Mhm.
along whenever they get the telegram. I don't remember when
Yeah.
they get the telegram.
Yeah, basically, he's just saying, all right, we have the stranger you're looking for here. This has to be the monster from the spaceship because he's just weird. And he says
Mhm.
biblical stuff. It's like,
Yeah, who does he think he
all right,
is?
yeah, you could basically say, all right, it's a small town, so maybe he's not from there.
And that's what we're supposed to think.
But
Hmm.
other than that, he's been pretty ordinary until you were treating with so much fear and stuff that he was forced to hit you over the head with a bottle. Why not just call the cops and say, all right, this guy hit me over the head with a bottle? That would be understandable. The thing of, all right, we're talking to the military now because we think he's this monster from outer space. But the doctor is hung up on how he survived this, how he was able to survive the blood loss and still needed surgery, though, to get the bullets out, but survived the blood loss and, had a great pulse and everything.
Well, I like how you're trying to justify the concussion, but the doctor.
Concussion?
Well, I guess
Oh,
Manolo
yeah,
doesn't
yeah. I
have a
guess he got a
concussion.
concussion. Yeah,
Maybe he did.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
I'm not trying to justify. I'm just saying at this point, the only motivation Manolo has against this stranger is the stranger hit him over the head with a bottle.
I think that that's a good reason to call the cops. I think if I
Yeah,
have a
I
place of
said he could
business,
call the cops and stuff, but the military, and then just going to the conclusion, because at this point, all they know is a monster came out of the spaceship. This guy doesn't look like a monster, and there's no reason to believe he came from a spaceship.
yeah, I agree with you. There's no connection there.
The
I
kid
would
might
not
have a
think.
connection because he had a talk with him, but in the
Not yet.
little bit that these guys
Mhm.
saw him, he's just a guy that hit you over the head.
Yeah, this is just a guy who came in after hours asking for wine and then smashed the bottle of wine on my head. And yeah, I'm gonna go get some
And it
authorities to
still
deal with
didn't
this
break.
this very violent person who
And it still
just
didn't
hurt me.
break, remember?
Yeah. Right.
Yes, that
Right.
bottle
Yeah,
doesn't break.
right. It doesn't open either. You can
That's what
never
that line
retrieve.
was for. That line of from Manolo saying that, that's not a wine, that bottle didn't break, was just to explain away why it didn't break when it got hit over his head.
So
Because
then the doctor, because Manolo called the cops because he got his head hit, the doctor calls him Judas. And so that's
Manolo at no point was a disciple of Williams.
true.
It's
Yeah,
a very
agreed.
strange, if you take that sentence out on its own, it's a very strange one.
And that's what I
But
meant by cringy when I started this whole conversation.
yeah,
It just doesn't work.
because Judas, it was a special relationship with Jesus, being one
Right.
of his disciples, and in fact, the closest one, I guess.
He thought he was his friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He kiss of death and all that.
Mm-hmm. This was just
Yeah.
a bartender that you hit over the head with a bottle.
Yeah, like you caused an offense to him first. But it's all okay because he gave us this special book that nobody wants to look at.
Yes. The doctor called, well, we don't know that yet. Only Pedro knows of it.
Well,
But,
Pedro doesn't know what it is.
yeah, but he knows
He
that he
didn't look
got a
at it.
gift. These guys don't know about a gift yet. I mean, it's
Yeah, but
just
how many
Manolo
times
that,
do you get a gift and you don't bother to check out what it is? Like, oh, look at that later.
yeah, that's true. But, here the doctor's making that claim that Manolo
Mm.
is a Judas. Now, I don't care for Manolo at all. I mean, yeah, the hit over the head with the bottle wasn't good, but it's like it doesn't mean that this guy is the monster alien that needs the military to go after him. Just a regular old. get that Sanchez guy to come over here and put him in jail.
Yeah, I understand what this episode's trying to do. It's the whole we're humans and we fear things we don't understand. It's common
I
trope.
understand the message they're portraying, but there's just too many issues that are making it not a good portrayal of the message,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah,
such a great episode in and of itself anyway.
exactly, because there's a difference between paranoia of the unknown and valid judgment based on building events of violence that Williams is
No,
built
when we get to the
stacking.
portion that's coming up, yeah, the town did jump to a conclusion, but
Yes, the
they
mob
didn't.
is not right.
But
So they just throw a random mob at the end. That
yeah,
this is how the town
that's what I
acts.
mean. It's not like that they had jumped to a reasonable conclusion. The only one at this point that could jump to this kind of conclusion is really Sanchez, because we haven't seen the event, but he's the one that had eyewitness of this guy, came up with the description of a monster, and Salvador died. All right, so Sanchez was there. He has the reason to have serious issue with this guy. Manolo has reason to have an issue, I guess somewhat serious, for being hit over the head. But no one at this point should be seeing this as Satan incarnate.
Exactly. That's true. No, they should be seeing this as let's take this guy into the town um precinct office for questioning.
Yeah,
Not let's burn him at the stake or, what
yeah.
actually happens. And
Really?
I agree with you because
Yeah.
and that mob doesn't tie in with the characters that we're learning about during the
Well,
episode.
they
So
didn't get
there's
motivation to feel the way they did because they weren't even there for the doctor. Yeah, you can go Highlander on this and say, all right, the doctor could say, oh man, he should have died, but he's still alive. And then it's like Highlander, it's like, ah, you got the devil in you know, because you survived when you should have been dead. All right, but he's the only one that kind of knows that until he tells Manolo there. But no one received that information in a way where they could take the leap to say this was an unnatural death, therefore, or not a death, an unnatural survival. Therefore, because of that, this guy's, you know, got some satanic vibe to him.
Gavin, I think that might be what this episode wants to try to be. The monsters
What?
are due on Mexico Street. But in order to do that, they should have brought in some of the neighbors. The neighbors should have come in to check out what's the bar still doing open? What's going on here? But then maybe that would be too many characters, and this is
Maybe not
already a
enough
really busy
time.
episode. Just yeah, not enough time to actually achieve what they want to achieve.
But
They
here's the
just
thing: they
just
in
messed
other
it up.
episode they've had so many complex variables that were able to make a good episode out of it. I
Right.
think this is just one where it didn't come together, but they had to go with it anyway.
Mhm. Oh, hello to Lord of Toxicity, asking DJ Play Nice if he wants to join on Toxic Thursday. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And let's see. I just checking to see what's going on here in the chat. I like to check out what everybody's talking about. Even if I don't read everything out loud, I read
Yes,
everything
folks.
you guys say. Mr. Williams laments. Oh, right. First, Pedro wants Williams to sleep. Williams decides. Yeah, I'm just getting back to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
He decides to recite Robert Burns' The Best Laid Schemes of Mice and Men,
Yes.
going aft a glay.
Yeah, I could at the end kind of see the reference because Williams' plan went awry. Yeah,
Yes.
he just
Yes,
wanted
he
to
laments.
visit mankind and give him a cure to cancer.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's the twist. He's coming to give a gift to cure all the worst one of the worst illnesses that mankind has to face,
Mm-hmm.
which yes, it is cancer, but he's only he says I'm only taking instead like life in general or brain damage in Manolo's case. Well, he can say he's coming in peace, but his actions actually have to back that up. You can tell me this whole episode that he's a good guy, and the music can be nice and friendly every time we see him, and we can feel the friendship between him and Pedro, but his actions speak louder than words.
Well, I guess it's
And
just that one action, really. It, you know, he was peaceful other than hitting Manolo over the bottle.
yeah, and yeah, because
hitting Manolo over the head with a bottle.
right, killing the officer could have been a honest mistake. We don't know for sure, so
Yep.
that's never resolved.
Well, and it may have been just a struggle between the two. He didn't want to be shot, and then the gun went off when they were struggling, but they should have made that more apparent as the truth to the viewer. And then unfortunately, it's a little weird where it's like, okay, he received these bullet wounds, but survived them once. And then when something like that happens again, he doesn't.
Yeah. And then it wants to have this overarching message. Why do men fear the unknown? Like children afraid of the dark. But also, Pedro, I notice you're not afraid of the dark.
Yeah. Well, they also didn't make him unknown enough, other than, I guess, being a stranger, to that area.
They just don't know his name.
Yeah, it was just hard to fit it all together.
Yeah, and Pedro says, "Oh, we're both odd, we're both strange," and he figures that he's come from far away, and he suggests that he's an alien. Are you from the stars? But William says he comes from beyond the stars. Tell me, what does that mean? Beyond the stars? Maybe beyond the galaxy, or
well, if you try to take the concept of heaven, yeah, maybe, because once it was thought it was up beyond the clouds, but then we look beyond those, so now it's beyond that. So, and then it was, well, it's behind the celestial sphere that has these pinholes of lights in it. And then when we found out more about those pinholes of light, it's like it's beyond that even.
See. Okay, that makes sense. So then maybe he's not an alien, he's an angel, but he still uses a spaceship, and he needs to go to he needs to fix his ship and leave the planet. Yeah. And so that's the teasing part of the episode. We never see a spaceship, and we never fix it, and he never gets to leave.
Nope.
And so Pedro asks Williams if Williams is leaving for good and all. Oh, there's more confusing things. So then Williams says, "There's only forever. There is no good and all." What does that mean?
There's only forever, but yeah, I will come back sometime. What?
Okay, good.
You just corrected the kid, said that you're not going to leave for good and all. You're going to you're implying that you're leaving forever, but you're coming back. Now, I understand there's supposed to be biblical tie-ins here, but even there, I think the Bible does say, yeah, there is going to be a second coming. At some point,
Yes, I think that I thought about that too, that was what this scene is trying to say, but it doesn't make any sense. And so then, if you were not getting it, the episode gets an even bigger hammer, or a bottle of wine rather, to hit you on the head with. And Pedro says, if God were to come to Earth, would they find him so strange that they would be afraid? And would they shoot him?
Pedro, where do you get such good questions?
And then he mentions that they mentioned the crucifixion and
Well, he
the
said,
whole
did
religion
God
of
not send
Christianity.
his son? And, kind of referenced how humanity treated him then. Or at least, those people at that time in that area. Yeah.
And
Uh,
Williams wants the people of Earth to not be afraid of him before he can explain what the gift is. Wouldn't explaining the gift make them not afraid? Uh, hmm. Anyway,
well, it was trying to deliver information for its own story, basically, and its own plot there because of the delivery of the gift later and everything. But
but the gift's already been delivered. No, just that everybody refuses to
well,
look at
yeah,
it,
and
or Pedro refuses to look.
if you're going to follow the Christian model in this, the gift is the coming and the contract between God and man through Jesus Christ.
Mm,
It's
yes.
not a separate, book about the cure to cancer, a separate gift other than, that. I mean, I guess what they're saying is the cure to cancer here is akin to salvation.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll
Maybe
buy
that's
that.
the parallel they're trying to say.
They didn't drive that home, but yeah, like you said. College
But
Slammer says reminds me of that old Nickelodeon show. What does? What did I miss?
you don't miss anything. You read them all.
I do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I read them out of order.
But we don't know. There might have been a Nickelodeon show with the
Okay,
little
Gavin just says nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. And hello to Penny. Penny's here. Then we get that cool song. What if God was one of us? Just a stranger on a bus,
just a bum like one of us.
trying to make his way home.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand. I think you definitely could use a lot of the elements here and make a good episode out of it. It didn't come together.
Yeah, you could. I would just make the episode that Serling wanted at the beginning.
What does God need with a starship?
Uh, well, to get to Earth in this episode. But no, I guess it's not even saying that this is God because he's speaking of God and that they have the same God. And, by referencing Christ, it must be the Christian God. Um, and he talks about Jesus, but he's not saying he is Jesus, but the episode is trying to make him a kind of like parallel to Jesus message wise. I just think they could have done a better job of it. That's all. Jill, you might have left yourself muted
Oh,
after the
I
beginning.
agree with you. I agree with you, by the way, that yeah, they could have done better. They could have done all this better. Anyway, the cops are here. So the nice little discussion that made no sense is over. I mean, some of it, well, we explained it as best we could. And so now the Jeeps are here with with the cops
Are you
and the
rushing to
soldiers.
the end, Jill?
Yes. Yeah, well, we've said everything we could say
Yeah,
about
I
it, I
guess
think.
so. Hmm.
And you explained it really well at the end there. If
Well,
everybody wants to play that back.
here comes the military.
Yeah, the military's here with the officer Sanchez. And William Sanchez is insisting that Williams is a creature, not a man. So he's still going along with he's a monster. And then Manolo
Yeah.
says, we've been keeping him here for you. And the doctor tells the officers Williams is too ill to be moved. And
Well,
so,
here's another thing, with the whole parallel. I don't know. It's hard to do this to say an extraterrestrial or a stranger in this case, fear of the unknown. That is somewhat of a separate thing than the story of Christ, really. Because there it wasn't the fear of the unknown necessarily, it was politics, really. If you're talking about why Christ was rejected, it was because of politics, and the people just went along with it because the crowd was swayed. You know, it wasn't that Jesus appeared as a monster or even really a stranger. He's from Bethlehem, for crying out loud. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, you're right. There was definitely that kind of, if we're going with that story,
Yeah.
yes, that was
Well,
the
they're
idea.
going with that story.
They're going with that story that that they're not happy that he's saying he's the son of God and all that. And so how dare you believe your thing that you are, and just crucifying him for being himself. And but that's not what this story really is. But I appreciate that. That does make sense, and the crowd does seem to be going along with whatever Sanchez is saying. Sanchez tells them to freak out, and there.
Yeah, and as the Bible portrays, the crowd, in wanting to release Barabbas instead of Jesus, were swayed into doing so. So it was the same thing in a way,
And
but here it wasn't a parallel of free this guy or free this guy,
well, in this case, Williams jumps out of the window, so
yeah,
I don't know how
it's
that
like,
fits in.
yeah, no, it's just, we caught this guy, who's a monster, even though he's not. And the crowd just all of a sudden just thought he was demonic, and they weren't even really swayed into it. They had no reason to believe that. They just started saying it.
It's true,
He
right?
was
Because
walking kind of funny, yeah.
Sanchez says he's a monster. The crowd takes that to mean a devil. Just
Yeah,
jumps
but
right to
even
that
so, they
conclusion.
had no reason to believe he's a monster. He looks fairly normal.
Right. They shouldn't believe that he's the alien, and I get that. You've been saying that this entire
Yeah.
time, and you're right. And it's the right thing to say, because they would think, well, maybe he's not the alien from the spaceship because he looks like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer finds that Williams is missing, and I was just hoping he was getting to a ship, and we were gonna have the kid run to the ship, and they were gonna fix his ship real quick, and he was gonna fly off, and everything would
Yeah,
be
one could hope. Might
yeah,
have been a better ending.
but instead we get the sad ending of the mob,
Yeah, and no ascension
as you
either.
described it. Yeah, right. Well, 3 days later, we don't have enough time for 3 days
Part
later.
2.
So, he's already anyway. If he did leave, he'd realize, yeah, he's just been riling up these people, and anyway, the bartender calls Williams a monster. The officer finds no one in Pedro's room. If there's ever a need here for a town jailer, Mr. Bartender, I hope you do not see fit to run for office. Oh, right, because Williams left. And so they hunt him down, and they try to arrest him for the charge of murder. Williams tries to say that was an accident.
Mhm.
And being an alien, no one really taught him how to behave in
but
police military confrontation. But the weird thing is that they ask him to step forward, to put his hands up,
and
puts
he
him to
has
the
his
side.
hands up. He steps forward. He's complying, basically, although he's talking to Pedro. And he's asking Pedro, come here. Yeah. Well, he wants Pedro to show the gift.
Yes, he
so
says,
that
"Give it to the
hopefully they
doctor."
understand what, but he doesn't. Pedro just throws it on the ground.
No, well, Pedro doesn't throw it on the ground. Manolo
Oh, that's
rips
right.
it from Pedro's hands, and he throws it on the ground, and then lights it ablaze with a torch.
Real quick, yeah. And, yeah. ban it. There was
And
a lady in the crowd yelling, ban it. And it's like, oh my goodness, she's a witch.
I believe that. Yes, I believe that happened. I believe you.
Yes.
But he's doing
Yeah.
exactly what they're telling him to do, and they decide he's attacking Pedro because he's
Look what he's
communicating
going to
with
do to
him.
Pedro. Oh my God. It's like he hasn't even touched Pedro. He's just slowly going forward, but not towards Pedro. It's to all of you. And you asked him to. It's like you said, step forward with your arms out. They're exposed. He offers no threat.
Right. And Williams tells Pedro to give the gift, and like we said, yeah, they call for the gift to be destroyed, and it is.
Of course, Manolo did shout out, he turned
But
me into a newt.
so we might I question Williams' actions throughout the episode, but I also don't connect with the mob's paranoia that's presented by the crowd. You explain it by just making the Bible comparisons, which is probably what I'm supposed to be thinking. But
Yeah.
in no way does the story incite that for me in a way that is meaningful.
Well, yeah, they're thinking because they were saying things. I'm not sure if the word demonic was, but something about the devil.
Yes.
They were definitely accusing him of being demonic, uh, and stuff, and no reason to. The only thing that I said that could be close is what the doctor observed is that he had unnatural fortitude
Yeah.
until
And
now.
well, until now. So, like you said, he's not posing any threat, and yet he does get shot ostensibly
Well,
to death, but the doctor doesn't check on him. He doesn't try to remove the bullets as he did before to see if his constitution could handle that because he already knows he's different. So there's no attempt. There's no attempt to try to save him.
well, the doctor still didn't like what they did. Yeah,
True.
I think he had a line afterwards that he was in disagreement. He didn't want them to do this, but they did anyway. One of the soldiers fired, and
Probably the
fired
most
a lot.
yeah.
It wasn't a mistake. It was a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the intent was to take him out, and I guess it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And the the most disappointing part of it all is that this entire mob is ignorant, and they remained ignorant because they leave their shoot away before the doctor can read the book to find out what it was, to find out that it was the cure for cancer. But now
Yeah, and he
the
didn't
actual
exactly afterward try to, or at least they don't show that he afterward tries to go and show what the gift was and what the error in their ways were or anything.
right,
So I guess
because
he didn't become, Paul the
because
Evangelator.
my favorite story in which the humans turn out to be the monsters after all is Devil in the Dark from Star Trek. And those miners do learn their lesson that they were in the wrong killing the
Mm-hmm.
Horda's babies. And they learn to get along with the Horda, and they become symbiotic to each other. And
Mm-hmm.
they're in their search for resources and keeping the Horda happy with the not messing with her home or her babies anymore. And there's none of that here. So if you're gonna have a crazed mob who is gonna be superstitious about something and they're wrong in not not understanding the unknown, which is the message of Devil in the Dark 2, which is my favorite Star Trek episode. This totally dropped the ball on that one too.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no
and
lesson
another,
learned.
well, not only that, I mean, you could say biblically there wasn't a lesson learned then, but, as far as the people's actions. But one thing this does leave out that's a very important part of the telling of Jesus is he resurrected, okay? And I'm not saying that this guy Williams needs to come back to life or something like that. It's just in your messaging. Um, I mean, it should still be all about, as opposed to this gift that goes unreceived, it's the ongoing gift of the gospel and the role of Jesus for Christians. I'm not trying to make this religious or anything like that, but I think any Christian would say that, that would be an important part of the message, is that you can still receive this gift.
Can't avoid you're okay because you can't avoid that in this episode. It's in your face. It's smashing you in the head with the plastic bottle of wine. And so everything you said is fine for today.
Yeah.
Normally I don't get
Yeah,
into
I try not to
that
be,
kind of
and
stuff.
yeah, I try not to get into religion because I'm still really exploring a lot of things myself. But yeah,
Mhm.
overall in the Christian message, it is. And sometimes some Christians do leave it out, but it is important to realize this is an ongoing thing.
Mhm.
As long as you are alive, you can receive Jesus. And I think every Christian would say
Yeah,
that.
except this episode says we killed the dream.
Hmm.
It's dead. And so the innocent alien is dead. We're supposed to believe he's innocent.
If
And
they would have handled the ending slightly differently, they could have said some sort of message that this gift can still be received. You know,
mm. Yeah, that would have been a nice, like, to end it on some kind of hope.
yeah.
That would have been great. Just as you're saying, just like the same hope you would get from the actual faith.
Hmm.
The actual only hopeful thing, the only good part at the end here is when the doctor says, "Come, Pedro, come home with me, son." And so at least Pedro gets
Pedro
to
gets a
go.
different home to go to.
Yes, and now he might actually get to go to school
Yeah,
because
the
he's
doctor might be a different, a better father than Manolo. Yeah,
I
fine.
think he has to be
Yeah,
because I
well,
gotta have
sure.
something good out of this episode. So thanks for
Has
that.
nothing to do with the allegory, but it's good.
Yeah. Closing narration made Madero, Mexico, the present, the subject, fear, the cure, a little more faith. An RX off the shelf in the Twilight Zone.
An RX off the shelf.
All you need is a little more faith in an alien who crashes into your planet, kills one of your police officers, and smashes bartenders in the head.
Well, supposedly he provided a prescription or at least a vaccine for cancer.
Yeah. And so the cancer cure would have made up for all
So
that.
that's
Yes.
the RX reference there.
Right.
Kind of different, but yeah. But this was originally a Rod Serling story that then got changed into a different Rod Serling story, right?
But he changed his own story, and I
He
think he
did.
had a banger at first, and then he just
Oh, so
bungled it.
that was never televised. The first one, I thought it was shoot an arrow into the sky.
Yeah, they had an episode called that, but it was
Yeah.
nothing like
Oh,
that. So
okay.
so the episode I described at the beginning with the kind of ET kind of story was never produced.
Oh, they just used the name for a different
For
story and
yes,
then took the story, beat it over the head with a plastic wine bottle and made it a different one.
yes,
And then
yes,
released it
and
as this.
yes, and and that's how you get this episode.
All
But
right.
the thing is, Rod Serling is a master storyteller. He's amazing, and
Well,
I'm always loving most of the things he's done.
the
And so,
poll is
you
actually
can't get
rather
it.
close.
That's the amazing part. Maybe it's because our description of the second episode is a little more animated because there's so much
Yeah,
to
maybe they
talk
were
about.
voting for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But the trade-in still does win at 52% versus
Trade-ins.
48.
Yep.
Trade-ins rather, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was only one trade-in, and then it got returned.
And then the second episode could also be called First Contact.
Yeah.
or
Could
the
be.
opposite, or the
Well,
opposite of to serve man to.
well, that's the thing. That's why that woman wanted them to burn that book because it was the cookbook.
Right. It's a cookbook.
I saw that episode. Burn
Yeah. She knew what was up.
it.
Yeah.
Oh man. But it was actually, I mean, yeah, the music was great and
Yeah, it had
the
original music just for the
cinematography,
episode.
the photography was good.
Yeah, set dressing was nice. I like the donkey. I'm going back to the donkey.
You could even handle the stylized acting if maybe Pedro was portrayed a little better or he acted a little better. I mean, we don't know the
Yeah,
circumstances either, Could have
that's
been
true.
last minute.
I feel like they wanted me to feel something, but didn't
It was
I
all
get the
read
vibe.
off, and it looked like it was read off on the spot, not even from memory.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what went wrong here, but 90% of more than 90% of the time, Rod makes amazing or good stuff.
Yeah.
Something went wacky here.
Well, here's the thing. They were going for a message of biblical proportions. It's hard to do that. And if you want to do it right, um, it's
You
difficult.
can't, yeah, you can't skirt around it. You've got to play
I
it strong,
I
or it's
don't
going to
think
come
they
off weak.
insulted anyone. I don't think
No.
any Christian would find fault in it. It's just a bit odd. And I guess we, especially you and I in doing this stuff, we kind of look for things to be a little bit better. That's all.
I tried to find everything positive in this episode I could, and
Yeah.
and I think we got all of it that we could out of it. Who called the
Hmm.
cops? Who ratted out Space Jesus? That was Manolo, because he got hit in the head by Space Jesus.
Yeah. And he's called
Gavin,
Judas. I mean,
because
uh,
of course we all know that Space Jesus had a cadre of bartenders as his disciples.
Gavin's awesome.
Gavin says he's not the son of God. He's a very naughty boy.
Yes. And you know where that's from, Jill, right?
Uh, he's a
The
very
Life
naughty
of
boy.
Brian.
Yeah, okay, I was thinking it's gotta be
Yeah.
Monty Python.
That was,
Okay.
yes, Mary. Well, no, it wasn't Mary. I forget her name. What their name was. The mother of Brian. I
Aunt
think it was like
Mary.
Tina or something like that.
Yeah, and if we're going to the actual Bible, Jesus was upsetting the status quo. People, especially those in power, like to maintain that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
And
was
to
saying
keep
it
their
was about
power.
politics, really.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the
Just
church had a lot more power
hmm
in
And
those
then,
times.
of course, you had the tyranny of the Roman Empire, but they're mostly like, we just want law and order. You guys work this out. All right, we're going to go with you guys in power. We'll just do what you want, just to shut all you up.
Mm.
But Pontius Pilate did not have clean hands, of course.
Why does that guy to the right give Wormtail vibes? Ooh, who? Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Wormtail.
basically.
That's a good band name.
Yeah, Wormtail, that's a Harry Potter reference
Uh,
to a very duplicitous kind of person. And that's what they were trying to make Monolo to be. So that's probably who he means.
the pages were coated in radium, and the fumes from the would kill them all.
Oh no, Taco Bell could also be an ongoing gift, says Mage Grey Wolf. Welcome to the chat, Mage. Yeah, gross.
Yes, especially if you get the trots.
And Glove Cleaner says Paul Mazursky. And and Gavin sings.
So I'm not familiar with the name Paul Mazursky. Perhaps it was in response to one of the questions or things we were thinking of. But at this point, it's a random name to me.
DJ Play Nice says Brian's mom's name in the movie The Life of Brian was Mandy Cohen.
Mandy, that's right. Mandy, mother of
Mandy.
Brian. And of course, yes, although his father was not Mr. Cohen.
All right. So before we go any further, I want
Maximus. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. And then Kimberly ties it all together by reminding us, what if Jill wants a robot body? Android body? Well, I don't know. Maybe when this one doesn't work anymore. We'll see. The singularity is near. But
Yeah.
let's...
But I mean, can you take a copy of data from your brain and just that data alone is you? That's
Yeah.
the big question.
That is
Yes,
a big
we
question.
are.
What about
Much
the
of
soul?
it is our memory. Well, it's not even just the soul. I was thinking about this the other night, and I had you in mind because we discussed this sometimes. I was also thinking, what about the nerve fibers and stuff in our brain? Isn't that also a big part of, what we are? Sure. Maybe it's only portion of our consciousness that arises from it, but isn't that a portion enough that it's still a big part of us that, if our memories were just put into another robot, would you all of a sudden just wake up feeling you? Or is it just a robot with your memories in it that may be able to behave like you?
So in order for this to work, we have to be cyborgs, and the
But
brain
would
has
you
to
be
be
in your body
retained.
looking at that robot across the room saying, it's acting like me, but it's not me. I'm not there. I'm still here.
That could be it. Yeah. And it would be missing. It would do some things like you, but it would be missing some certain
And
something
all
because
that
the right
separate from the soul.
synapses. Yeah, and the right synapses. Well, I mean, but I think consciousness and the soul could be one and the same. The
Yeah.
way our synapses fire and the patterns and all of that. I think that's important too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is why this kind of thing is still science fiction, and
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
nowhere near.
Yeah,
We're nowhere near that
and
kind of thing. But
as
it's
much as
interesting to
I'd
think
like
about.
a different body at some points or repairing of it, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be laying on a hospital seeing the copy of me not be me, and then they end me. Sorry, a bad note to
Well,
leave
and that
on.
would be weird. No, it's fine. That ties us back to the first episode. And very well, actually. But before we finish, I still want to read the previews for next week's stories. So, next week on the Twilight Zone, a return visit from an illustrious young actor, Cliff Robertson. He stars in one of the strangest tales we've yet to throw at you. It's called The Dummy, and it involves a ventriloquist and a piece of painted wood, a unique slab of carved pine who decides that lap sitting is for the birds, and who takes things into his own wooden hands. Now, this one we recommend to the voiceovers across the land. We hope to see you then. Oh, that's a classic next week. Also coming next week, through the good offices of Mr. Richard Matheson, we tell you a story of a young man's fancy, which is kind of a euphemistic description of mortal combat between the living and the dead, between the present and the past, between Miss Phyllis Thaxter and Mr. Alex Nichol. The battleground is this old house, and its front door will be open to you next week on the 20th.
Damn. That second one's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat, and then the character names, and then this old house. It's like, woo!
Right. And it's even better if you watch Sterling do it, of course, because he's going to be in that house and you get to see the actual setting. But if I play that, I get copyright claims. So I read it myself.
Mortal combat between the living and the dead. Is it mortal then? Maybe for the living, but the dead.
Undead.
Yeah.
But which episode do you like better? Let's close the poll. Oh my god, the poll is at 50-50 right now.
Oh.
How did that happen?
I guess some people are like saying no. No.
You know what? I think maybe some people do like the second episode, The Gift. I have a lot of problems with it, but maybe some
Well, I
people
mean,
enjoy it.
I think if people are saying that, they like that it was paying homage to the Christian message, fine. I think it could have been done a better job of it. That's all I'm saying. I
Mhm.
think a lot of what I said was in reference to that. I was,
But I do think
Manolo
it
was
it
not a good Judas.
yeah. And this is not my favorite Jesus story, but at least it came on the last day of the 12 days of Christmas here on January 6th. So
Oh,
I
wait a
think
minute. I thought it
that's
was
fun.
Easter.
Yeah, I know. The episode premiered on Easter, but today is today, yeah,
Okay. Today.
day of the 12 days. So
Very
I got
good.
it.
Very good.
Yeah, so got close enough. It's Jesus story, so
Well,
close
I
enough
also
to a
know the
Christmas episode.
trade-ins is hard. I mean, I thought it was a good episode. It was hard watching because, I was being reminded of my own mortality.
Hmm.
And so it was
Yeah,
kind
that
of
one's a
tough watching
simpler.
it.
That one's a simpler episode, but it's more powerful and more meaningful to me. It's a poll deadlock. Yeah, true story. But let me thank everybody who's
Is
here.
there anyone that didn't vote yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up until I thank everyone. So thank
Yeah.
you to you. Wait. Okay, before I share my screen, let me grab your link because I think I have it here.
Oh.
I still haven't fixed my bot so I could bring
Well, your
up your
bot
link
did it
faster.
before. I think
Yeah,
we're
well,
fine. But it gives people time to vote
that's true.
if
Well,
there's
let's
someone
give
that
people time
hasn't
to
yet.
vote. Tell everybody what you're up to for the rest of the week.
Well, Friday we're hoping to do the Yes album for our music stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, whenever I put up the scheduled streams, you'll be able to get the time and date from there. But yeah, the Yes album from the band Yes is what we'll be talking about with Mike and Istophobos on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday, we're doing our follow-up tournament of the best sci-fi TV show themes. So it's also a music episode, but it's tying in with our other love, science fiction. In the best themes, we have 24 that were selected. Of course, you can't select everything, but we have 24 that we selected in our first episode on this topic. And so those are going to be arranged in brackets to have a tournament. But the fun of it isn't even really the tournament. It's basically talking about some information about the themes, some facts, some trivia about these themes from all these great shows, featuring, US as well as UK shows. We have a number of UK shows in there like Thunderbirds and, the Jerry Anderson stuff in there and some other things, some great music from Dudley Simpson, the Australian composer, as well as, of course, Barry Gray with Jerry Anderson. All these lovely things. And so we'll be talking about them and we'll have a little competition, see who wins at the end of the day. But most of it's about talking about these great shows.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the Sunday show. That one sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
The first show was just building that list. So now you're ready to
Yeah.
go.
Well, we had to make sure that it was solidified, like Star Trek should have one theme. So we had a competition. And as always, the
Oh,
original series
the original
wins.
series. Of course, the original series wins. But there's
Yeah.
so many cool things to talk about all of them, though.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
love the Deep Space
but you got to
Nine
pick one.
theme. Yeah.
I love that the Deep Space Nine theme changes. It starts off slower and then it picks up in the
A
later
little
seasons.
bit. It's an ostinato bass line there. below the orchestra that is a little different. But
Jason Love says, "Hey and hail everyone. KK, I'd once again rumored to be fired, stepping down along with Iger. Something in the next few weeks, supposedly. Thank you for the. Oh, I should have played this for you before reading that. I didn't realize you were giving us a news update, or I would have played this. That's why I have that.
okay, is
Yeah.
it in jest or?
I don't know.
Well, I don't even know
I haven't
that,
looked into it.
if the KK era ends, if it would actually, at this point, if there would be any major changes anyway.
Yeah, I think it's not in jest. He wouldn't be. I don't think he'd be posting that in there if there wasn't a thing. But thank you. Just popped in to leave a like and a message. Thank you for the engagement, Jason.
Well,
Good to
thank
see you. And speaking of thanks, I want to
Just
thank
pardon
everybody.
me, since we've heard such things before. That's all.
Well, right. Yes. We have heard such things many, many a time before. So we'll see. We shall see. Number 22, FKHC 2005 was here along with you. Wayfair Project. Lemon Pie at 20. James Caserta, 19. Brogu. Canadian Spider-Man was here. Thank you, Spidey, for hanging out. Penny, hope things are well. Lord of Toxicity. Oh, what happened? Oh,
Was that a
okay.
brand switch or something?
Oh, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
I don't know what happened to you.
I didn't
Actually,
do anything. I just all of a sudden looked at the screen.
well, now
and
your
was like,
entire screen is black, and if it was my fault, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that
Oh.
because I was thanking people, and so I didn't realize that I dropped you if I did. There you are. You're much better now.
Yeah.
Suzanne was here. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Suzanne, for hanging out with us, as well as Outlaw Bill and Psych Opera. And
Yes. Hello, lady.
oh, if you want to put her link in the chat, I'll put that in there too. I haven't put her in my bot yet. I need to add her to my bot.
I am not a mod, I don't believe. So...
private chat is what I meant.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Yes, Psyche Opera joins us on Sundays. She is my wife, by the way. She joins us Sundays on Earworms.
I'm aware.
And she also has a channel about a number of topics, musical. She does all sorts of programming in Max MSP, and she does cigar box guitar building. And of course, she's a composer and has her music there as well. And I think I did that right. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Good job. All right, let's put that in there. And I'll make that prettier later. I'm just going to copy this down. And thank you to Glove Cleaner. Glad to have seen you here. Mage Grey Wolf. Wait, let's put that on screen for a little while. Oh, thank you. DJ Play Nice got it too. Great work. Jinx. Yeah, Jinx. If I ever meet you, DJ Play Nice, I owe you a Coke.
I guess you had to be there.
And Matt G. Thanks for being here. Matt G. Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift, Oiler Greg, College Slammer, and Jill Notes bot did a good job. Just need to teach Jill Notes a few more links to throw out. And Kim is number 4 with Phantom Outsider at number 3. Yes, Phantom Outsider, you're a great contributor today in the chat. As well as Gavin Blackburn. Gavin Blackburn only dropped
this
from
time, Gavin.
only runner up because Sig Valdison sent us a present, the $20 super chat. So Sig Valdison gets number 1 today.
Well, congratulations there.
Hooray. Yeah. Well, Siggy wants me to buy a bottle of wine, so now I've got to. There's that expectation.
Green
a
wine.
green bottle of wine. Yeah, somehow it became
So you'll
green.
have to find that Spanish wine that's green.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
wondering
if that
what would do
existed in my
that.
town.
You could probably make
Am
some.
I? All right. Yeah, now I'm producing wine, and then
Make
I'm gonna
some.
sell it on my store.
Oh no, you got to pay for licenses for that are really
Damn
high.
it. Okay. Well, it
Lots
makes
of
sense.
regulation there, but you can make it for your own consumption. My wife's mother does. She makes
Wow,
her own wine.
neat. That's pretty cool. Well, that would be good for the holidays and stuff. Awesome. So that's all we have for today. This
Yeah,
has
I don't
been
think we're going to
a
be able
good
to kill
time.
much more time to get this poll one way or the other. It looks like we have a tie.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to live with the tie that we've got. So I'm gonna end the poll 50-50 trade-ins versus the gift. And we're done. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, so College Slammer remembers my Babe live stream from the past weekend. I reviewed a childhood favorite of mine. And so that was a quote from that. And yeah.
I was just thinking of hybriding some episodes. What if they would have had,
You've done that
this
before.
Williams come down to Earth as an extraterrestrial, but he's on the run, and he finds a little girl, female version of Pedro, that he then takes with him to become his queen wherever he's at.
Oh no, not that episode. Oh, oh.
The fugitive and the gift. The fugitive
Actually,
gift.
now I found an episode that I like better than the I mean the gift. Okay, so I like the fugitive better than I like the gift. It's still kind of weird, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not as weird.
icky.
At least it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just the optics.
Yeah, it's just a bit icky. So so you're just building on my least favorite episodes.
Yes,
Thanks.
it's my job. But so
See you
far,
next time.
we've done probably, at least I've been here for, maybe 10 episodes or 12, probably more like 12 or 14, and only 2 of them are on your meh, icky list.
Yeah, and that is recent. So that's 2 out of 3 seasons of Twilight Zone. So we're good.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad at all. Rod Serling knows what he's doing most of the time. And it's a tough job to make so many episodes. It's not like these days where you just get 10 episodes. He's making 30 plus episodes per season.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about that with Istophobos just this past Sunday. It's like, even back when they were doing Babylon 5, like 24 episodes in a season, and they have to structure them so well that it deals with commercial breaks, fits the time limits, and the commercial breaks are at understandable points where you can take pauses and all that sort of thing. And nowadays, when it releases straight to streaming, you don't have to worry about commercial breaks or any structural requirements, really. It could be 40 minutes, it could be an hour and 20. And all you got to do is just write good stuff, and it doesn't happen.
And on top of that, Rod Serling wrote some of the commercials too. So he was doing all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah.
Hawking those cigarettes.
Maybe not such a great endeavor, but
No, certainly
it
not for
had good
him.
artistic integrity, shall we say.
Yes. It was entertaining. Thanks so much, Jill. Please hit the subscribe button, chat. It's free. And it really helps grow this channel. It really does. Oh, it would be so meaningful to me to get to 1701 this coming year.
That would be nice.
And enjoy the rest of your day, folks. This coming year. This year. We're in the year. We're here. 2026. How many of you out there are still writing 2025 accidentally and erasing the 5 and pretending, oh, you don't even have to. You just have to close the 5 and it turns into a 6. So you can you're
Yeah.
not too far off.
Yeah, it works.
Anyway, that's all for this time in the Twilight Zone. I updated the membership credits, so if you're a recent member, you will see yourself now in the closing credits. And thanks again for everyone being amazing, typing some cool stuff in the chat, being insightful. And I will see you all again this Friday. We'll probably be playing a game, Star Trek 25th Anniversary, because I've been wanting to play a game on the channel for a while. Another one. And I've been wanting to get back to that. We got to save Spock in that. Then on Saturday, we're going to have Scotty's birthday party with a special. Because 1 year for Scotty's birthday party, we do a good movie. 1 year we do a bad movie. This year is a bad movie. And so we're going to have another edition of This Ain't Star Trek with Into Darkness.
Oh.
And that'll be a thing. But I'll also see you guys next Tuesday in the Twilight Zone.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
Mischief managed. Otherwise anyone can read it.